Wow, that's gonna be real clipped. I'm glad I record a musical intro to this. Hey, welcome to Deathwatch. This is number 3.
Yeah.
Number 3.
Watchmen!
Oh my god,
All right, Perils of the Warp
you
Dallas.
dare to do this? Psychic power, hot explosion.
Yes.
Anyway, this actual play is not brought to you by detonating people's hearts. It's brought to you by our patrons, which includes, but is not limited to, Adam Hart, Black SG, Comey Zed, Carlos Dragon, Jimmy 1000, Rise of Kenji, Rogarman, and Sharvor. Thank you very much for supporting patrons.
You're the best.
The best.
Yes.
I should
And
have
still,
I should have willed here just so I could. Hey, that's me. Every time.
I mean, you could. That would be funny.
Every Patreon we
No,
just laid
I'm
out the
gonna
capital
be-
point, like,
I'm
hey,
gonna sign up for a patron, but name it as just a different thing.
I mean, I know people have done that, and a couple of people have funny Patreon names for
Oh,
the purpose of
wait.
Patreon reads.
Yeah.
Means Patreon names week to week.
I don't know if you can change your username that much.
If I
I would
change
have to
my
know that you're
username
changing
week
it.
to week, That's how I
Anyway.
do the song pun every week.
This is unrelated to what we're getting at, which is the Battle Brothers have recovered from their first mission. Now, you guys do some extra action reporting. You know, you guys get back up into orbit. You're setting up your plans. Sorry, I had to scratch my nose for a second. You know, for your next operation, you have dealt a major blow to the orc forces on Frumentil, and hopefully opened up the front so that, you know, the Imperial Guard can use their artillery units to continue to bombard the orcs while you set up for them to shift over with their counterparts on Sanctum Ice. To do that, you'll need to go to Sanctum Ice and deal with their problem and make sure that they are not going to be, you know, immediately beset by the hordes of the mutant, the heretic, the alien, when their backs are turned. So, based on the information already in the Ordos Xenos database, as we did a little bit of out-of-game exposition and double-checking, the gang did go to the archives and research. Your operation on Sanctum Ice, which we are calling Mission 2, The Depths of Faith. Get it? Because you're going deep. Big deeps. But will be to basically go to the capital of Sanctum Ice, which is named Glorious Landing, and make sure that there are not any immediate, you know, pressing, horrible Xenos plans. You know, they haven't planted they haven't activated the plate self-destruct sequence, you know, 10 minutes ago, and you got to stop them, that kind of thing. You know, there's not some sort of, you know, zombie virus bomb in the sewers that's gonna turn everybody into exploding mold zombies or something.
Yeah.
And then we have a second one inside a cruise missile because I don't know, man.
The
This is a
scars of
reference to my
RE6
deep-seated
have
trauma
left.
about... Yeah, but to say... reference to my
Deep-seated trauma about
deep-seated
what?
trauma about RE6. Redundant plans within plans within plans.
What?
Anyway,
We would-
you got to make
we
sure
just
that they
ripped
don't
those.
have any plans, so you're going to go secure it. The only area that is of immediate concern, you guys know from your basic tactical briefing, would be beneath the main city, because currently the Brimlock Dragoons, the regiment assigned there, are in position in the capital, and you know that the using the phrase military governor is a little imprecise. The local supreme commander, who is not the imperial governor, but the local military commander, who commands the PDF forces and the like, has... Sorry, I'm sweating a burp there. Has declared, you know, martial law. So the normal upper crust, like, out in the open parts of society, the respectable parts of society are, you know, minding their curfews, following their ID checkpoints, etc. Or they're getting arrested. So you need to go where, you know, the authority doesn't go. Before you guys actually set down on Sanctum Ice and probably start figuring out, exactly how you want to spearhead this, because you haven't physically gone to Sanctum Ice and checked in with anybody, and you have a number of dossiers still to check out. And you examine your records if you want to ask any of those questions. Let's do a little bit of question about healing, because some of you were hurt. Now, I'm pretty sure that if I vaguely recall correctly, this is probably going to be that if you are lightly damaged, you probably heal. Yes, damage equal to your toughness bonus in a day of rest. So, is anybody not lightly wounded?
I believe 2 of us were heavy wounded.
Let's see.
I,
Are you
however, have the hardy talent, so I count as lightly wounded always for healing
right.
purposes.
Already, right.
Yeah, same here.
Okay. So, those of you, you heal once your toughness bonus. Keep in mind, your unnatural toughness does count.
Oh, I'm fully healed then.
Yes. So, after that, does anybody have any wounds left?
Yes.
Okay. In that case, your apothecary may want to tip-top you up.
Tip top from the shop.
That'll just be a Medicaid check.
Yes, with the plus 20 for your narthecium.
How much is the hardy talent?
It depends.
Yeah, it depends on where you're getting it from.
I got it for my chapter, so.
So, funny thing.
See if I can
That's
get
8 over.
chapter.
Well,
Didn't you get the?
you have fate points back.
Didn't you get the
Like the medical gear.
Yeah.
We are technically between missions, so I don't think he's had
Yeah.
time to requisition his weapon yet.
That's right.
Yeah, so with my bonuses and it's at 80, I will spend a fate point.
Mhm.
I'm back up to 4, down to 3 again. So let's go again.
Okay, so did you check the Medicaid skill on page 102?
There it is.
Oh, hold on, cross the wire. Yeah.
Put that artery back in.
If
A
anyone
successful
hasn't seen it-
Medicaid test removes damage equal to the character's intelligence bonus,
Sweet.
but I believe you
Nice.
double it for the narthecium. So what's your
Also-
int bonus?
5.
Okay, you heal 10.
Also, the apothecary adds a D5 to all healing checks they do.
Well,
if you
did he
pick the
take
one.
that power? Is that a universal? You only get one special ability.
Yeah. I took Guardian of Purity because
Actually, wait, no. As the Techmarine, you might have exactly 2 and get both. Most people only get 1 out of like 2 or 3.
Both.
No, you only get one.
We got 1,200 from last mission, right?
Yes, 1,200.
I thought you were about to say we got 1,200 choices. I'm like, what?
No.
Okay, no. So
Just making sure I
heal
have all my
10.
data.
Sadly, my brain is thinking back to that one because I've been watching through some old Rubik's Raptor videos, but where it's like they're all Space Marines and all the medics are just getting all the gene seeds every time. This is
Yeah,
my
you don't have to
healing
do that.
punch. Yeah.
But so you heal him for 10.
Yes.
Thank you, brother.
You're welcome. I'm not good at doing voices. I'm sorry.
It's okay. Yeah, no, I think
Put a
Techmarine's the
helmet on.
only one that in special ability just doesn't say pick one.
Because one is skill based, so like yeah. Because you have to be able. you have to be
The
able
only
to-
ability I think that is an actual special ability is improve cover. Blessed by the Omniscience is just you get your mechanic as implants.
I can use
basically.
the armor.
Jeez, I can't believe the
It's-
Emperor lets you have all the abilities.
It's kind of like how Psyker is. Librarian only gets Battle Psyker, which is just you get some psychic powers.
There's just a lot of psychic powers.
And that's why playtesting is in there. Okay. Anybody else still injured?
Doesn't
All
sound
right,
like
good.
it.
Okay. So, like I said, you guys have, probably a day's worth of travel downtime on your way over to Sanctum Ice from Frumentil. You have been, briefed from your data packet, the vague direction you want to go. But if you want to start examining local conditions, talking to anybody before we, jump into it, let me know. Like I said, you haven't spoken to anybody directly. You know a bit about the colonel in charge of the Brimlock Dragoons, but don't know much about the local forces. That's the word I'm looking for.
It was an Inquisitor and his retinue that discovered the traces of the Genestealer cult on this planet, whose name I cannot remember to save my life.
Sanctum Ice?
Sanctum Ice.
Planets?
My bad.
Yes. Yes. And yes, an Inquisitor and her retinue. That's
Her.
Alta Nixius.
Alta Nixius.
Oink.
Oh.
She is still hanging around, even though officially the case has been moved to the Ordo Xenos. She is an Inquisitor of the Ordo Hereticus.
Well, we should probably at least touch bases with her and see what she knows and any intel she has. If we want to do this swiftly and precisely, we will need all the information we can get beforehand, so we do not wander about.
Sounds good to me.
Everybody is okay with that? Then yes.
We want to talk to the sodden Inquisitor then.
I'm sorry, could you repeat that, Aren?
Who wants to take lead in speaking to the sodding Inquisitor?
Ah, that's what it was, Sonic.
Probably shouldn't be me. Just a feeling.
I mean, listen, this is Ordo Hereticus. That could be anything.
So, Sniperius, looks around at his battle brothers and just says, I will speak with her.
Good.
All right, get her on the Vox.
Lifts a
That would
mug.
nominate the Templar.
But yes, Inquisitor Altanixios is you probably get like an image on the hololith. It's hard to say there's a standard for Inquisitors. They are one of the types of people who are usually incredibly, varied in the Imperial service.
Mm-hmm.
But she is of kind of, average height, average build, probably is still wearing like, flak armor or a light carapace under like a big long coat. Has, the big inquisitorial rosary that is, the eye with a skull on it, on a big necklace displayed front and center, so that's an Inquisitor. Probably has one of those, weird, broad Witchfinder hats that the Ordo Hereticus often gets for no other reason than that, 40k.
It looks cool.
If you had an opinion on, human attractiveness, not because you guys don't have Chemgel, but more just because you guys have been out of phase of what human trends are like for hundreds of years, you would guess that she's probably what people would consider, attractive. Kind of, dark, flowing hair under her hat sort of a thing. Probably looks good on a poster. Actually, I can double check. Yeah, I don't think she's carrying anything like else on her person you'd see from like a video call. She exchanges all the appropriate, pleasantries. Honorable battle brother, that sort of a thing. As a full-blown Inquisitor, she reports directly to, the High Lords of Terra, so you guys are kind of outside of each other's what's the phrase? Command structures.
Jurisdictions.
Yeah. I mean, technically, you can be under each other's jurisdiction if it came up. But yes, as an Inquisitor of the Ordo Hereticus, normally, the esteemed forces of the Deathwatch would be out of her purview. But yeah, so she's respectful, but not like deferential.
Yes.
There's no rank Gesundheit to bring up. But basically, she will regurgitate her, summarized report. Basically, it was brought to the attention of the Ordo Hereticus that there was unrest on Sanctum Ice. Oh, probably exact reports, correlating what was actually an incident and what is just, normal stuff is a little tricky with these. But probably somewhere between 6 to 12 months after the Brimlock Regiment arrived on planet, when they were just kind of like milling around with nothing to do because they were sent to the planet that didn't actually have the war on it, but their orders were to go here so they couldn't just, pack up and leave. Basically started small reports of, small protests and work stoppages, mostly due to, rationing. Food supplies and other materials were rationed on Sanctum Ice, to make space for the war effort on Frumentil. There was also decreased traffic of pilgrims, which is, pretty important to the local economy. Generally a reported, list of uptick in general crime, antisocial behavior, seditious thoughts, handfuls of civil complaints about the presence of the Imperial Guardsmen, which is, anti-patriotic. It's not a pious thought to have to complain about the glorious Astra Militarum of the Emperor. But it's also not an uncommon thing, you suddenly have to deal with all these foreign soldiers tramping around. So, kind of normal stuff, but things started to tip up when there started to be outbreaks of sabotage and vandalism, which were very unusual for Sanctum Ice. And then kind of like kept going, escalating from there. At first, the previous governor used the local Arbites and PDF forces, but due to the disruptions and kind of, the growing paranoia of, who you can trust, started to ask the local guardsmen to intervene, but with heavy restrictions to their rules of engagement. Not using their normal las guns or other weapons, but using mostly their sidearms, which, as mentioned previously, the Brimlock Dragoons are semi-unique in that they use auto pistols as their regimental sidearm.
Okay.
Which is like kind of worse than just using a las pistol, but they are machine pistols. They're basically Uzis, so you can burst fire with them. And using their MP gear, like, riot shotguns, truncheons, and maybe, shock mauls. Shocky sticks.
Send out the Ogren.
Yeah, that'll also pacify the locals real quick. But as a result, this resulted in, over the several years it's been, a couple of violent riots that had to be suppressed. A couple of points where people seem to be pressed to their breaking point, and then, tension would simmer back down. And Nixios reports that in her time, and she's been investigating, the guardsmen do not leave their designated compounds. They have access to basically barracks, hangars, and warehouses where they keep all their war materials stored. They don't leave their compounds except on, for free time, in groups of at least 2 men, if not a whole fire team, because over these couple of years, they've had a few guardsmen picked off by muggers, quote unquote, or suffer accidents. The kind of situation that came to a head, which is when the Ordos really got involved, was about 2 years ago. The previous governor I mentioned, he was touring a local manufactorum for stained glass, One of the many things that Sanctum Ice produces in bulk, besides, just tourism, is, devotional sculptures, candles, etc., but also lots and lots and lots and lots of stained glass. But while touring one of those manufactura, there was another quote-unquote accident where the stained glass fractured and the governor was struck and killed by falling shards, along with a couple of his entourage. Since then, that is when the head of the PDF, whose name is... Well, his title is Burgrave, but his name is Ithamar Agun.
Agun. I just keep thinking Dune.
He's about age 50. He was the former governor's brother. He is the uncle to the current governor. He took on a much more conservative and direct position after the death of his brother, so basically declared martial law. From orbit, you guys can, take a look at Glorious Landing, the capital city. It's basically on like three peaks of a mountain. It's called Glorious Landing because that's allegedly where the Emperor sat down during the Crusade. The three peaks are called Glorious Stand, Glorious Gaze, and Glorious Grasp. And they are connected by underground passageways, but also huge rockcrete causeways, gondolas, and ropeways. And since declaring martial law, there's basically a curfew, there's a checkpoint on every causeway, there's a checkpoint to use the gondolas, etc., and, so on and so forth. Basically, this has decreased the actual occurrences of riots, vandalism, and sabotage because, everything is locked down. But they've been receiving more civil complaints, generally more unrest has increased, and the economic situation in Glorious Landing is starting to trend downward. There's been more reports of thefts, robberies, other minor infractions, and both the PDF forces and the Brimlock Dragoons, the Astra Militarum, have reported quote-unquote lost inventory. That is to say, mostly small arms, but, weapons, incidental gears, ammo, supplies going missing. And then this is when, like I said, Inquisitor Nixios came in, and so she's done, a pretty thorough examination of the planet with her retinue. She has noticed that... do you guys have... Actually, no, you have Common Lore Imperium, Sniperius?
I believe so, yeah. Let me double check, though.
Okay. Yeah, so I won't make you roll. You would understand when she says this.
Yeah, we all start
I will
with,
just explain it for the people at
Don't
home.
give the whole list.
We have Imperium.
Thank you. Yes, we knew that already. What Nixios explains is that in her research, her investigation, she has discovered that on Sanctum Ice there has been an increase in what are called sanctioned cults. Basically, part of the reason the way the Imperium works, it's much like the old Roman Empire. While some would say that there's only one proper way to worship the God Emperor of mankind, this isn't actually true. There are a shitload of allowed permutations to the Imperial Creed and the Imperial Cult, which, so long as they don't violate certain key tenets, usually about, aliens, mutants, and witches, psychic stuff, are all allowed. Technically, the machine cult of the Mechanicus is one of those. Officially, the Omnissiah and the God Emperor are just extensions of the same thing. But there are numerous sanctioned cults and so on and so forth. So Nixios determined that in the outlying areas far from the capital, there were an increase in these sanctioned cults being founded or expanded, forming new shrines, sanctums, and lodges in the distant mountains. And eventually, she tracked these down enough that some of these got to become heretical. This is the aforementioned, which you've seen in your notations, explicitly referencing something phrased as the four-armed emperor. and using symbols which are clearly of Xenos origin. And even, she even encountered a small amount of mutants or aberrants among the population, which were, dealt with either directly by her or by, guardsmen she's suborned. She's, gone to a couple of these outlying settlements with some guardsmen and, kicked over a couple of heretical meetings, but nothing more complex than, underground backroom meeting type stuff, right? Like, you go to the local drinking hole and there's some guys playing cards and drinking and talking about how, the Emperor sucks, actually. And then the Inquisitor goes, heresy! Firebombs the whole place. But the connection with the Cult of the Four-Armed Emperor and these symbols are linked based on, her databases to Genestealer cults, which is when, the Ordo Hereticus went, well, that's technically outside our major mandate, and there's also that orc problem, so we're going to go call the Ordo Xenos about this, and then, you guys got here. You can make me a +0 Forbidden Lore Xenos check. In addition to any other clarifying questions you may have.
Let's just go with the... Well, let me double check, make sure I have Forbidden Lore Xenos. Yes, I do.
Everybody should have it trained. I think it's part of your Deathwatch training.
Yes,
Yeah.
Yep. Or Deathwatch hypno training.
Hypno training.
actually have it.
And +0 is phrased as challenging.
Well, my intelligence is only 40, so I'm not getting it.
I didn't say for you to roll yet. You're not part. You deliberately said you don't want to be part of this conversation.
Right.
Now, Sniperius can tell you later, at which point you won't know anything. I'll remember you rolled this. Dog, you can't hide it from me.
That's fine. That's fine.
I see it. Well, you'll have to wait until, like I said, until Sniperius actually tells you this.
All right, then.
Off the top of your dome, Sniperius, nothing specifically about the Cult of the Four-Armed Emperor rings any bells. You understand that they are some segment or area of Genestealer cults. You don't recall what they are off the top of your head. So anything specific you'd like to ask the Inquisitor?
Oh, let's think here. Sorry, one moment, please, as I try to wrap my brain around it. Because, unfortunately, from what I'm getting up here, this is just some... Well, it's not all hearsay, but a lot of it's hearsay. Except for probably the cult of the Four-Armed Emperor. I'm thinking... Unfortunately, I don't think I have anything in particular. This is one of those things that I feel like we're going to have to get boots on the ground before we can actually start making heads or tails of anything.
Yes, her polite suggestion is that with your superior expertise and, how would she say it? The legendary hardiness of the Emperor's Angels, you guys will be able to brave a journey to the Undercity below Glorious Landing to, ensure that there is no further cult activity there.
Okay.
Would you share with the Inquisitor your guys' plans to go swapsies on the 2 Imperial Guard regiments?
No. Sniperius is tact turn. He doesn't say more than he has to, and I don't think that's necessarily need to know information.
All right.
But with that, Sniperius will, give farewells and return to his battle brothers. It will not be in so many words, but he will, recount things concisely and to the point on the events leading up to this and the situation, along with the Inquisitor suggesting that we check out the Undercities to particularly to root it out. Excuse me. I don't know why my brain farted there.
All right, now those of you who haven't rolled may roll FL Xenos if you so desire.
I failed.
I'll let Axe roll first.
I made it.
The smart boy
Yeah,
is
we're
smart.
gonna give her that.
Actually,
This is
hold
good.
on. I have to check. I might actually be able to reroll. What does this talent do? I do have an each smart base talent.
I'm just gonna assume that even if any of us get it, it will just be hive-minded.
Yeah. So those are
Well,
just-
what
Sounds-
Brother Khyr recalls is so the it's relatively recent information, but since the Ordo Xenos is now aware that Genestealers are directly linked to Tyranids, you guys have started, tracking their their patterns and behaviors, basically. So, the Cult of the Four-Armed Emperor is a known sub-faction of Genestealer cults. You guys in the Ordo Xenos don't know exactly how they, differentiate themselves, but you do know that their cults have a couple of different structures, shall we say. They have a couple of different styles in which they can operate. Almost like some sort of faction on a tabletop war game.
Yeah. It's like
The Cult of the Four-Armed Emperor is perhaps a little odd to see here. So normally they're associated. They were first discovered by the Deathwatch and the Ordo Xenos on a Delver world, a planet-wide mining colony.
You right?
Yeah, sorry, just got something caught in my throat.
Yeah, Brother Sniperius is really, really suffering. What's he hiding in the beak of his helmet?
Drugs.
Drugs. But yes, the Cult of the Four-Armed Emperor was first discovered by the Ordo Xenos. They infiltrated because, unlike a lot of heretical cults, they substitute their cult activities with a suspiciously highly industrial work ethic. Don't know why I couldn't say that for a second. And a exceptionally high output. So basically, they blind their superiors with their own natural greed that is fairly common on petty mining colonies, by pretending that they are merely humble and devoted servants of the Emperor, which is why they work their shifts all the time. They work extra shifts, and basically they, grow to prominence because they are the group outputting the most resources in their type of worlds, and thus the local overseers are like, oh, these guys are just pious hard workers. There couldn't be anything wrong. Pay no attention to what those mining vehicles falling off that truck are. And yes, they are known to when the time is right, they achieve one single great day of upheaval and make use of stolen, industrial equipment, basically. And you do know, Brother Khyr, that they masquerade a lot of their activities or a lot of their religious and recruiting activities as a sanctioned splinter of the Imperial cult, which tracks with what Sniperius was told. Now, it does strike you as a little unusual to hear about a Cult of the Four-Armed Emperor uprising on Sanctum Ice for two reasons. Number one, first reason, simplest reason. The cult was originally identified in the Ultima Segmentum and is normally seen there. You guys are in Segmentum Obscura. That's on the other side of the galaxy. You guys only got here so fast because you were able to pass through the Jericho Maw Warp Gate. So that's not unheard of. Genestealers get around via Space Hulks and the like. So they can go everywhere, but it seems a little odd. That might be something you guys will be following up on later. The second is that Sanctum Ice is not actually a mining world anymore. It's a shrine world now. You know from your basic background briefing, you know, all the little summaries of the planet you've read on your data slates and the such. Mining and excavating in any form on Sanctum Ice is now highly restricted. It is only allowed for the expansion of habitation once, like, all possible occupancy of structures is at maximum, and in carefully designated zones where they gather raw materials to construct and repair. Repair, you know, shrines and churches, or under direct permission of the governor. It used to be a mining world before they got all pious, but they don't do it anymore. So it would be somewhat difficult for such a cult to perform their normal modus operandi. Nonetheless, if they are using the phrase "the cult of the four-armed emperor," and, you know, there are vague images, you know, you guys have blurry picked recordings of, you know, cult posters and graffiti before, you know, a guardsman hosed it down with a flamer, you know, to look at, which are all, you know, vague. Actually, I think there is like a faction logo for the Genestealer cults. Let me see if I can find it, you know.
Yeah, because I think
It's like a little squiggly worm thing.
More thought it more likely to be the type of Genestealer cult that where they infect like medical equipment and that's how they pass it along.
Well, I mean, Sanctum Ice has not necessarily got a lot of that either. Like, Sanctum Ice is not quite a feudal world. They have access to higher level technology, especially because they have a pseudo forge world in orbit, you know, with their moon, you know, which is called Frost Forge, is taken over by an outpost of the cult Mechanicus. But because they are a shrine world, they seem to limit themselves to very specific forms of higher technology out of a combination of, you know, piousness and also just restraint. Like, so, there is a Scholar Progenium on the planet I've mentioned. There are several minor orders of Adeptus Sororitas. So there is probably an order and outpost of Sisters Hospitaller. That said, you're pretty sure that, like, the sister... Well, I'm sorry. I was going to say Sisters of Battle. Technically, Hospitallers are a non-militant order, so you would not call them a Sister of Battle. The Adeptus Sororitas, as an Adeptus, is particularly known for their extreme zealosity and their love of the Holy Trinity of, you know, Bolter, Melta, Flamer. You're pretty sure any medical equipment they have is probably treated with the same level of holy reverence that perhaps your esteemed battle brother Lutheron's Northesium is. Keeping in mind that he is a Black Templar. So, yeah, it may be that they did not have a angle to perform, you know, more dark bioscience, dark biologists upon anybody either.
And I guess we'll have to see.
But also, I'll say this. I'm not going to go into like a full lore deep dive because it's definitely not relevant to this campaign. But if Khyr is comparing notes, there are actually like Genestealer cults who are about kind of like the subversion of technology and, you know, the subversion of the Omnissiah's will. You would assume that would be a more natural cult to rise up. So yes, the cult of the Four-Armed Emperor here is somewhat unusual, but if they're here, they're here. And like I said, you can see they've got, you know, weird squiggly worm things.
Squiggle worms.
I'm nodding. Yes.
Yes.
Well, I'm definitely
So,
not
and like I said, I assume Khyr lets the group know that, so you guys can
I'll let
continue
it know,
playing.
yeah, because it's.
I'm definitely not going into the Undercity and finding out what's what down there.
We're not gonna get to anywhere unless we actually look into it.
I have no problem looking into that.
Sniperius, you know,
Oh, did you hear me? Sorry.
sorry, I'm just trying to think of how Sniperius would put this. Sniperius would say, if this cult is in the Undercity, then the Undercity we must go.
As
Yes,
simple
but
as that.
Lutheron, if you burnt all the heretics, then it might actually melt the planet. If
Sniperius, you know, like considers that, and it's like, then we must be careful with our means, bro. Sniperius, you know. Oh, sorry. Was someone gonna say something else?
Oh, sorry. Yes, I have some means of knowing things about these kinds of groups, ways of looking into them. What I'm saying is I have knowledge heretics. And I can use that to try and find signs of heresy.
I think from what the Inquisitor said, there's already signs of heresy there.
Yeah, but like
Pretty
specifically.
sure the Allfather doesn't have 4 arms, so
Yeah.
I agree, but we can't just burn the entire Undercity yet, unless it's really bad. But let's try not to.
I do have a suggestion on that matter, brother, but it may be best served until we are actually speaking with the guardsmen and have our boots on the ground.
sounds good.
I agree.
Well, if you guys wanna go down, if you wished it, you could very easily, get a meeting at the gubernatorial palace,
Do we designate squad
or
lead
go
wait
to
till
the
later?
barracks of the Imperial Guardsmen.
Omega, before we go there, can I use part of my requisition to kick in now, or does that not kick in?
What item do you require?
Basically, one of my requisition items I'm going to be getting is a power lance. And basically, I want to exchange the power lance for my power staff so I don't look as much obviously like a librarian.
I mean, you could just stash your your force staff.
Don't librarians have like a book on one of their pauldrons saying, "Hey, I'm a fucking librarian"?
You always carry a book of your.
No,
poems and names.
my armor is decorated with pictures of dying. What did I choose again? Hold on. I think it's dying demons.
Yeah,
I got
no,
I got the hatred armor.
yeah, that doesn't stop.
But by
from-
default, a librarian has sigils and symbols.
yeah, it's like you have
you know,
your
denoting
you have
your
your former
role.
chapter on one pauldron, and on your other pauldron you have a, I think it's a book.
Well, I
But
don't
much
know if
like
I
how
will-
the apothecary has a like red helix to identify that he is the apothecary. Now, keep in mind, normal people aren't going to know what that means, so that would probably be like they would need to have like a common lore war or common lore Adeptus Astartes to know what Astartes symbols are.
Okay, and well, my second question for Dallas is why are you trying to hide who you are?
Because it makes some people more aware of me.
I'm sorry, we're gonna be how many giant dudes in suit of armor stomping around, asking
No,
questions and
you
punching
make a good point.
We're
You make a good
Astartes.
point.
As far as you know, you are the only 5 Adeptus Astartes in this solar system. Yes.
Yeah, no, you make a good point.
What was our kill team name again?
Horae.
Yeah, like I don't think it was by name, but like anyone probably in the military will know of Kill Team Horae in the area if they like are up to date on that.
They probably know that Deathwatch is in the area.
Yeah, the Deathwatch is there probably. Yeah.
But yes, I say we designate our team leader, get our oath in, and get on planet and start our investigation. Unless anyone has.
Well, like I said, do you want to? Because I'm all for moving towards what's to call it doing things sooner rather than later. But the format of your mission objectives is the actually like going below part. You do not actually need to like pick your like team leader and swear your oath until you actually like get ready to go below, because like I said, I don't know if you guys want to speak to the Imperial Guardsman or the governor or anything. And I'm going to say, how should I phrase this? You have options for support units. You will need to talk to people to get them, because if you just are like, okay, we're swearing our oath and we're loading out for the mission kind of a thing, you guys are setting out, so nobody's going to know, what's up. But the talking to people is not necessarily this. The talking to people in the Overcity is not necessarily a step of the mission.
I think if we low-key wanted to kind of decide who's the leader for this one beforehand, before we swear the oath, I think that's fine. Like, just so someone's in kind of charge of what we're doing planet side before delving into the Undercity.
That's fair.
I know it's awkward, but I nominate the Templar.
Yeah, I know Loth's saucing with his people doing concrete
the Black
work,
Templar, right? No, that works.
But your Apothecary might be a fair pick.
Yes.
I have no.
Can you hear
I
me?
have no.
Yes.
Yeah. You're not
Can you
muted.
hear the other thing when I speak?
No?
I do not.
Not really.
Oh, thank fuck. Okay. Yeah. Lutheron will happily be the one to help root out these heretics. If people,
Well, I think
if
we're
my
all
Raptor
going.
brothers,
I think we're all going to be doing that, brother. If you want to, you need to be in charge of things, though, directing us.
sorry, I'm having a out of character moment here, because you guys can't hear it. I can. It's loud.
That's rough, buddy.
That's
Okay.
fair. That's fair.
If no one has any issues with me being team leader for this mission, I will. Sniperius has already mentioned anything I wanted to say in terms of what we're going to be doing. We're going to be going down there. We're going to root out the cause of this and excise the problem before it spreads.
Sniperius will nod and just be like, "Do we wish to speak with the governor or the guard beforehand?"
Yes.
Sniperius will nod
I
again.
forgot to mention that, but yes, that is
Narrow down the search.
because, yes. Narrow down the search. Who knows how far the illness has spread?
Alrighty. Well, I'll describe Glorious Landing to you, and then you can decide where you want to go first.
Yes. I'll work out
Glorious
the
Landing.
oath and all that when we start.
Yeah,
kind
we'll
of thing.
figure it out. We also need to figure out exactly what your cohesion is, because I think that changes slightly depending on who the team lead is. Anyway, just to get some of the basic description out, you guys take a Aquila lander out to go ahead and land. As I said before, Glorious Landing is basically broken up into 3 peaks: stand, gaze, grasp, connected, etc., etc. Glorious Stand is where you will probably arrive first no matter what, because this is the spaceport and the industrial sector. So they basically have huge stone-cut hangars, carved into the living rock of the mountain, where vessels of all sorts of sizes can park, along with probably some, external landing pads and bays and the like. There are also massive storage cellars and warehouses which hold food and other products in motion. And there are series of basically, galleries and walkways for pilgrims to come in. When you guys arrive, you do find that the number of pilgrims is fairly small compared to the amount of space that's clearly set aside for them. Tourism is heavily reduced currently. There are also lots of business districts, shopping galleries and markets where residents hawk wares to travelers, and manufactories, mostly glass and ceramics, producing, like I said, enormous stained glass panels, so on and so forth, producing smaller devotional icons, candles, rolling rosary beads, all that kind of stuff. Glorious Grasp is the residential district. It's covered in, rock-cut homes and bunkhouses, more traditional buildings that kind of like rise up on the few flat areas, standard mountain homes kind of stilted up on the slopes of the peak. But also has many small, personal, well, not personal, like small community temples and shrines, public meeting areas, etc. You also know from your briefing slates that under the city there are many underground farms. They subsidize rations, which are mostly imported from Frumentil, with varieties of mushrooms and lichens, which grow underground. Glorious Gaze is the governmental district. This is where the governor's residence is. This is where the primary big cathedral is, where there is a... What the fuck was his title? Archdeacon. The Archdeacon of the Adeptus Ministorum. A cardinal, basically, reports directly to the cardinal of the sector. So they're there. There is the priory of the Adeptus Sororitas, the Schola Progenium facilities, etc. You know vaguely that below the city is, huge cisterns and natural caves which cling to geochemical vents for natural heat and power, and have water which flows out into the canyon seas to the south. So, where would you like to go first, and who would you like to speaketh to? Colonel
I believe
Tybalt Lobcock would be in the Spaceport District. Everybody else is probably in Gaze.
Okay. Before I give my thoughts, any suggestions for my battle brothers?
Sniperius would like to go speak with the Imperial Guard. He wants to basically gather all their incidents reports so he can gather up a tactical situation of where accidents have happened and in what areas.
Okay. Anyone else got any ideas or suggestions to bring forward?
I mean, I don't know anything about this, Archdeacon or anything, but the Ministorum types do sometimes get a little bit snippy if we don't, maybe talk to them first, being all important and everything.
Sniperius looks decidedly unbothered about this fact.
I will.
You probably couldn't hear me chuckle because I stood up for a second, but I chuckled.
I heard it.
No, we heard.
Would doing an investigation like in the direct under can I fucking name? I want to say Underdark, but I know that's not it.
Undercity.
The Undercity. The other yeah. Would doing an investigation in the Undercity be part of this preliminary investigation?
No, that's your mission objective. Is you're pretty sure you guys are gonna have to go down there and root some stuff out. So
Okay, then yeah, I have nothing to offer.
Quick question, just out of character kind of thing.
Yeah.
I can't just say delegate each brother to a specific person to talk to, like split up and look for clues kind of thing. Or would that be
yeah, if
too
you want,
much?
if you wanna run through some, get some more information gathering done, sooner apart, and then regroup.
Okay.
You guys should be within Vox range of each other on your helmets.
What is the range of our helmet box?
Sniperius will go to the militants, the guardsmen. Khyr will go to the Sister Sororitas. I can't remember the quite name of him. Brand will go to the people they mentioned. Sorry, my brain is like struggling here.
You want me
Do you want to
the
send Brand to the
Archdeacon?
Archdeacon?
I trust him.
All right.
Ayankora, you're staying with me. We're going to go talk to whoever's left. I'm not letting you.
The governor, probably. Did you catch that? The governor?
No, I can't. I caught it. I just sighed. In character.
You'll be fine. You'll be fine.
I'm sorry, Mr. Squig Rider.
I didn't actually do anything.
You thought about it. We all know you thought about it.
You have no proof.
Brand definitely chuckles over the box.
We have the
Unless
recording from your.
psionics.
You
Are
have
you a
no proof,
heretic?
as I remember having to execute a Squig after that battle.
I knew
Okay.
pondered
As
it.
much as I love your roleplay, we have been here for a little bit, so let's get into it.
Yes. Let's speed on through it, if that's all right.
Okay. Sniperius, we'll start with you because you were named first.
Yeah.
Colonel Lobcock is colonel of the 41st Brimlock Dragoons. He is a posh, stern, stiff-lipped man with a bristling mustache. He's wearing normal, Imperial flak armor. Looks like the standard Cadian pattern. But his has gold leaf trim, and he's wearing a, brimmed cavalry hat. And like I said, he's all posh, crisp salutes. Sir, pleasure to see you, sir. What seems to be the business, sir? And you ask him for his reports.
Mm-hmm.
No, he would just turn everything that's in their documents over for you. Is it? I don't even know what skill. I don't remember off the top of my head what skill it would be to like foment. It could be logic, but that might be like scrutiny as well.
Let me do a quick
To like
check.
dig through reports. Like you can double check if you want to roll any skills to try and get additional information. The overall level that you get is basically what I described before, but in detail. They have been in Sanctum Ice for probably like 3 or 4 years now. They arrived second. They have been going for a little bit. And at first, he, does mention they basically did nothing. They were, sitting around. He treated it like a, not quite like a shore leave, but you know what I mean? Like a relaxed duty until incidents started happening. And then they've basically been, martial lawing it up. They've handled, probably like 3 or 4 big riots where they actually had to like roll out their chimeras and, wade into crowds of people. Mostly his men just man the checkpoints on like the big causeways and, the gondolas. They check everybody's, normally in advanced cities like this, citizens have what's called cognomen ID. They have like a little plastic or flimsiplast icon which has their ID information on it and where they're supposed to work and stuff. Because it's not a parody of Thatcherism if everybody doesn't have to carry an ID card. But so they check IDs and so on. The concentration of the individual incidents, which I believe is what you're aiming more towards. Though, if you are curious, the riots probably all occurred here in Glorious Stand, the industrial and spaceport district, where the guardsmen are centered. But his men have had incidents where, like was mentioned by the Inquisitor. He would know that you talked to her, so he would probably reiterate it here. But basically, he doesn't send guys out on patrol alone anymore. Also, doesn't let them take leave alone. If you leave their compounds, you go either with a battle buddy or you go as a fire team. They've had incidents where, his guardsmen have been quote-unquote mugged, had all their thrones taken out of their pocket, had their auto pistol clips stolen, etc., and killed in a dark alleyway. Or even a couple of guys, suffering industrial accidents on patrol, Oh, so-and-so was on the outer walkway patrol last night, and the stairs were mysteriously icy. He seems to have slipped and fallen, and dropped all of his auto pistol clips. oh no, Corporal Redshirtius fell down an elevator shaft, and when we got to the bottom, all of his frag grenades were gone. That kind of thing.
Don't besmirch the honorable red shirtman.
Listen, he comes from a long line of Redshirtians, but he's still dead no matter what. He fell
can
down that
trace his
elevator
line
shaft.
back to Crimson Shirtius.
Yes.
And even further back
but-
to Twister 1.
But yeah, no. The general incident seems to be that anytime his guardsmen are alone in a place that is out of the way, they are at risk of being ambushed and robbed. Often for their money, but just as likely the criminals seem to steal, ammo, guns, etc. Luckily, the colonel points out that none of them have had their special war knives taken. Remember, they have a regimental big knife.
Big knife.
Those incidents probably mostly occurred either in and around Glorious Stand or Glorious Grasp. Not a lot of suspicious activity in the governmental district in Gaze. Are there any skills you think that would help you parsing any of that?
It probably would be logic.
Okay. Well, I know your Apothecary has logic, so when you report to him later, he might be able to roll.
I think logic is a basic skill, so I can try at half my.
If you would like, it's not a crazy required skill check. It's just if you want to try and suss out anything extra.
Yeah. What the difficulty?
Probably. God, I don't know what it's called for plus 10. Is it simple, easy?
I think plus 10 is standard.
I think the same plus 10 is probably fine.
Yeah, but that's gonna be a no, because half my intelligence puts that at 30.
Yeah, nothing stands out to you, Sniperius. This is not very different, but this is mostly different to the kind of service you've been doing, looking at crime reports and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
You can form a basic, heat map of the tactical situation, but can't actually suss out ordinary. Thank you. Well, we can also say plus 10. But it, nothing stands out to you just by pure logic.
All right then. While he is there, Sniperius will say that he'll be needing some of the guard to perform some scouting actions.
He kind of perks up, and then he's like, "Oh, of course, sir. Say the word, sir. The men are ready to go at all times." Mm-hmm. He kind of leans in a little conspiratorially, despite the fact that you're 8 fucking feet tall, and it's like, "Actually, sir, they're getting quite antsy,
Sniperius just nods at this. But Sniperius is going to spend 20 of his rec to wreck the Imperial Guard scout forces, which basically means that actually I have it up here. Hang on, let me pull it up.
Buttercup?
Mostly did blah 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 blah. Ah, yes. The kill team can call upon the support of an Imperial Guard scout section before they embark on a mission, in essence sending in a small force of highly trained, though still human, scouts to gather information about a target. The player can choose one of their primary or secondary objectives for the scouts to investigate. The GM then rolls a 1d10. On a score of 1, the scouts have been discovered and are destroyed, and the enemy is alerted to the Imperium's interest in the target, if they were not already. On a result of 2 to 8, the scouts learn some basic facts about the target, such as numbers and types of enemies in the area and any major obstacles, i.e. the target is within a void shield dome. On a result of 9 to 10, in addition to basic information, the scouts learn a secret fact about the targets, blah 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 blah. Now it is possible for to take this asset more than once. Each instance applied to a different objective. This asset cannot be requisitioned using reserve requisition. What's up?
I just said already.
Alrighty.
That's great.
So you let me know which objective you want to scout, and we'll track that in a second.
If I remember correctly, our 3 primary objectives were secure each of the 3 areas, and our secondary objectives was discover iconography. Wait, it was confirm the presence of
Yeah, it's confirmed present. Sorry.
Why don't we just show it for the video?
Well, that required me to copy paste something separate, but you know, I'm trying to do something different right now. I can only do one thing at a time, Axe, which is currently Whiff trying to drag an image into Discord.
Yeah.
Because yes, I felt this is the time to mention. So your 3 primary objectives are to secure each of these 3 areas. You know now which is Glorious Stand, Glorious Grasp, Glorious Gaze. So under Stand is the geothermal power plant and lots of other mechanical functions that keep the city going. Under Glorious Grasp is a combination of things, but mostly it seems like they use it for water treatment, wastewater treatment, which the water then gets pumped via aqueduct to the geothermal to keep the reservoirs filled. And then Glorious Gaze appears to be split. Roughly half of the under area of that has been converted into catacombs for, sanctified dead. But based on your briefing packages, you know that it used to be where the old mine was before they, banned mining on this planet. And it is believed, based on, projections, that there are supposed to be mining tunnels which connect to the chambers under Glorious Stand.
Well, I'll ask you guys here. Where would you think that the scouts would be the most use? Because we basically investigate. Were there any other secondary objectives? I forgot.
Yes, you have 2 secondary objectives: to confirm the presence of the Genestealer cult and then secure the routes between each sector. So, you even if you're like those guys are in the mines, your on paper objectives are to go to each of the 3 locations and make sure everything's hunky dory. But also your secondary is to make sure the routes between all 3 of those areas are secure. So that's your other one.
Okay.
And I can now copy paste that.
Personally, I think the secondary objective of confirm the presence of the Genestealer cult probably be the best for them.
I agree. So maybe Gaze, I guess Glorious Gaze.
Well, no, he's talking straight up the secondary to confirm the presence of the cult.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right,
agree.
it's the objective.
Yeah.
Which
Confirming
basically
that
would probably have them either get real up close and take some picture recorder readings, or like bag a Genestealer and bring it back before you even set out.
Well, like I said, it depends on the role.
True.
Can you
You
fate
never
point
know
that?
what may happen.
No, it's a D10.
It's a D10.
Okay.
And the GM's rolling it.
Yeah, I roll it. I don't even know if I tell you what it is. That's in Rites of Battle, right? If I want to look at that list of results again.
It doesn't say anything about keeping it hidden, which I do know that sometimes it does say the GM keeps the roll hidden for like screamers. I recall this one because screamers, you have to do the GM rolls on them to see if they actually work or not. And they do that roll in secret. So yes, I do not believe
That's
this
true.
has
I
to
think
be.
I don't remember if I know I roll for like orbital surveillance. Not that would help you right now, but I don't actually. I think you're right. I don't know if it's secretive. If it's not secret, I can probably roll a D10 and then I can ask what exactly it says. If you get a 9 or 10 or a 1.
Yeah. Well, if you roll a 1, the scouts are fucked. They die.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're just dead.
We're
That's bad.
Prozo.
Bad.
All right. It sounds like there's no objection, so we'll probably save that for once you pick your oath. Nope, sorry. No, that means I've copy and pasted something else. So I gotta go backtrack now. All right. But the Khyr, you are assigned to speak to the Sororitas.
Yes.
It's real simple. You go to the Priory. You see there, actually, no, probably not super typical. You do notice that there aren't a lot of armored battle sisters around. There are a lot of supportive orders. I mentioned before there are hospitallers here. There are also various other secondary orders, which Famulus act as advisors and politicos. Dialogus are scribes who copy orders. Pronatus is responsible for relics. Orders Madrigal are if you can't cut it as a battle sister, but you also can't heal people good or write good, that's okay. We have all of the C tier sisters become Orders Madrigal, and you just sing hymns all day. I believe that I don't remember. I think it might be Fenestratus. There is a minor ordo of the sororitas responsible for care, cleaning, and replacement of stained glass windows.
I don't think Khyr knows most of those orders. To be direct.
Well, you have Common Lore Imperium, but yeah, I don't know if you have anything.
I don't have Scholastic Lore Imperial Creed.
Probably don't have anything about the Ecclesiarchy either as a common or scholastic.
No.
But the main thing is, like I said, you would notice that there are not a lot of, armored battle sisters running around. There are a lot of minor orders, and there are numbers of sisters novitiates. You would be able to tell they are novitiates just by virtue of the fact that they are, not clad in the classic sororitas pattern power armor and carrying their, Godwin Diaz pattern bolters. They are, if they are armed and armored, they are carrying, normal auto guns, non-power swords, and, wearing flak armor. But the local canoness is Canoness Vricia Kell. She is a little older for a human, probably somewhere in her 60s, though with rejuvenant treatments, it's hard to tell. She is the Canoness Superior of... what was the technical name? It's a minor one.
Like 12 of those.
No, there's a lot of minor. Because there's only 6 major Chambers Militant. They're not like Space Marine chapters. But if those orders get big or they have a specific submission, they might form a smaller order. She represents one of those minor militant orders, the Order of the Frozen Flame.
I remember that in Flame. We bring that up in the initial primer.
Yeah, I mentioned them before. They're out there. But yes, she is, like I said, a canoness superior. She leads a whole, the whole priory of them. Despite your obvious Techmarinitude, obviously she has to work with tech priests a lot. There is, as I mentioned before, an Archmagos here, but he... if you ask around Kill-Team, the Archmagos almost never leaves Frostforge. He almost always communicates with the governor via VoxLink. So you would have to call him on the telephone or, go out there.
Khyr will make the point of being as he is part of the glorious Deathwatch and is here to secure, to secure the safety of the people of this planet, so on, so on. It's like...
Yes, no, the canoness is perfectly respectful and polite. She is obviously a combat veteran, judging by her years and also her scars. Maybe even a couple of augmetics you might be able to perceive with your special Techmarine eyes. Yeah, you're the Techmarine. I don't really think you have any interpersonal skills, really. So just, asking her about the situation. Her opinion is pretty straightforward. She basically bemoans that if she had a full attachment, a mission or there's another unit name for like a small subdivision of sisters that I can't recall right now, and it's not important. But if she had a military detachment of sororitas, she would already have, gone into the depths of the city and driven the heretics out from their holy ground. Alas, the bulk of the militant sisters of her order are shipped out on the regular to the wars of faith elsewhere, such as in the neighboring Calixtus sector, or sent out into the neighboring Coronis expanse, etc. The forces she has here are mostly non-militant orders, which I listed out earlier, and she would explain to Khyr if he doesn't know and, seeks knowledge. And then the rest is, novitiates. Handfuls of sisters who are trained in combat equipment, but have not taken their oaths, so they are not allowed to, don their power armor and wield bolters yet. They are equipped, with various standard equipments. She basically has limits to the amount of forces she can deploy. All of her senior sisters and battle veterans are in positions as, instructors. So she would gladly be, direct and forceful and purge with bolt and flame, but she does not have the manpower. She does idly mention to Khyr, because this is a setup for later, that if the esteemed angels of the Emperor, Ave Imperator, require any additional firepower, she would gladly send a squad of novitiates with you into into the deepest bowels of the warp if required. But if your mission is to purge the Undercity, that'll work too.
I think Kyr's just trying to. No, I think Khyr is actively just trying not to just say anything that'd be untoward. So he's just going to make the point of.
I'll take this under consideration.
Is that a consideration? My squad leader will appreciate your zeal.
And then she's just like, very well, Ave Imperator. You probably hear a score of sisters outside, her office or whatever also echo Ave Imperator.
I can't think of questions at the moment, so
it's fine.
Let's move along.
All right. The Archdeacon.
Yes.
Archdeacon Emmanuel. He is the representative of the Adeptus Ministerium in the sector. He works under the Cardinal. You, Brand, are able to easily breathe through to his, offices inside the primary cathedral. The cathedral is what you would probably expect from, the fineries of the Ecclesiarchy and the Imperial Creed. There is indeed a, big-ass statue of Big E himself, flaming sword pointed down, glowering at the people in the pews. There are, many stained glass representations of various, angelic armored figures, which could perhaps be Space Marines. There are collections of, figures which could also be living saints of the Adeptus Sororitas and so on and so forth. Beautiful depictions of the Astronomica and shit like that. Emmanuel himself is also somewhere in his, late 60s. Despite having access to rejuvenation treatments, he's also still clearly a little, a little frail, kind of a little stooped from too many years of crouching over the pulpit. A little balding, wispy gray hair. Almost never seen without a data slate. He is, of course, of utmost amounts of, respect and diligence. You honor this place, esteemed angel of the Emperor, that sort of a thing.
Brand will show respect to the Archdeacon by actually removing his helmet to speak to him.
He kind of, slightly inclines his head to that he understands, and he's like, his overview is basically, he oversees the chapels, cathedrals, temples, and shrines on the planet. He coordinates the tithes that, the Sanctum and her various nobles, give to the Golden Throne and send back to the Lords of Terra. He coordinates the pilgrims and refugees that come, has, libraries of the relics kept here, etc. You get the general impression, Brand, that, he is a devout man, but his role as the Archdeacon is primary logistical. He is a spiritual and financial advisor to the governor, but he spends most of his time when he is not, preaching to the local populace, which he does probably at least once a week, maybe twice on a good week. Maybe like every day on a bad week, depends on how you see it. But he spends his time, just studying reports, moving, money around, sending out minor functionaries, and everything to make sure that everything, flows smoothly and goes up the chain, like I said, to the local cardinal of the sector. Brand, do you have scrutiny?
I don't believe
I think we get that for free.
Or is scrutiny a basic skill?
It's
That's
basic.
what I was checking. So yeah,
Because scrutiny is your skill to perceive people.
Yeah,
Yes, we have it basic.
yeah, it's just basic.
Okay.
So it's perception. I do have
If
good
you would like
perception
to.
though.
If you would like to, you can give him a go.
Okay. Is it just +0?
No, this should be another ordinary test, +10. Unfortunately, I don't think your heightened senses kick in for this.
Nope, but I have 50 perception, so with +10, that is a success.
Okay.
No degrees of success, but still a success.
Wait, isn't it
All
when
right.
you- Sorry, I don't mean to,
Good.
cut short, Aaron, but doesn't it with basic, don't we have to use half our stat for things?
That's a good question.
Oh,
Is
yeah, I
this
guess
half
that
or
is.
is this minus?
Oh, yeah, that
minus
is
20?
true.
Yes.
Yep, you are correct. So I fail.
Sorry, I don't want to ruin that, but it's just one of those things. We gotta maintain it.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah.
I forgot that.
Well, that's why I think the
basic,
minus
not-
20 version is better. But yes, no, the
Basic,
basic
not-
is
not
halved
trained.
right now.
Okay, well then my target number would have been 35.
You're not really used to, determining the various moods of humans, Brand. The Archdeacon seems, like I said, to be, devout. His philosophy, what you can pick up from this conversation, is pretty straightforward in that he is, let me say, like a resolute but down-to-earth sort of faith. Like, he discusses, how he would, heal the ills of the planet. He talks about just everyone will come to the God Emperor's light with honest work and good deeds. Those who are suffering from the lack of pilgrims will merely just need good alms and charity. Sort of a thing. So, he's, for an archdeacon, probably a little naive, but you may get the impression that this has kind of been, up until this most recent, couple of decades, a pretty cushy posting. You do know that regardless of success or failure, he has no military background, whatsoever. He can technically command what is called Fraterra's militia. You can call to arms the faithful in kind of an emergency, but he appears to have no experience or desire to do that. Do you have any specific questions for him, or will you call it a day?
Since it was kind of mentioned, Brand probably would ask if there's been any place where the tithes have been particularly good in the past years, despite the situation on the planet.
He pauses to consult his many records, taps some runes out on his data slate, and he kind of, shakes his head and says, sadly, no, my lord. It seems that most places are keeping the same level of tithe as to be expected everywhere. He kind of, peers over probably some, spectacles or something at you and is kind of like, I suspect that a few of the outlying settlements may perhaps be holding back any good fortune they may be experiencing in these difficult times. Normally, of course, we would send someone out to insist upon the proper tithing, but it's all just been so busy.
Understood. Well, if we do discover evidence of any of these missing ties, we'll be sure to let you know.
Thank you so much, my lord. Yes.
And Brand does give him a bit of a toothy grin.
Probably let him know
How
they're
about-
dropping their fucking skulls, dropping their heads on his desk.
Yeah.
That does give him a little like pause, but he manages to cover it up pretty good. You know, anything unusual about your toothedness is, you know, perfectly normal. Angel of the Emperor.
And burp attacks.
Maybe he starts a story about how you guys can eat brains and shit.
Well, I will say that Brand specifically didn't actually use the term All-Father at all when mentioning the Emperor in his presence, so
Yeah.
he does have some decorum. Anyway,
You probably get the impression that this guy would probably let it go by because he's used to dealing with, you know, sanctioned subcults.
Mhm.
Brand probably doesn't know how the Adeptus Sororitas would roll with that.
yeah.
All right. Last step, the gubernatorial palace. It is a... Well, it's hard to tell. Is it a palace? Is it a cathedral? Maybe it's the same damn thing. But, you know, big, bulky stone edifice. It is a little undetailed for, you know, such a residence. There are, you know, covered in devotional statues of images of the emperor and imperial saints and whatnot. But it does lack a lot of the double... Yeah, a break will be good. The double extra gold that you might expect. But Brother Lutheron, Brother Ayankora, you are brought before the governor. She, nobody asked me what she was like, is her formal title is Margravine Alicia Agun. She's only about, you would say, probably like 18 or 19. Calculating human ages is tough. You're Space Marines. Which means that she was pretty young when she took over, but she is the, you know, inheritor of the position of Imperial Governor.
It's a
Yeah, I know.
baby.
Yeah, that's what you'd think.
She's a blood claw. She must be aggressive and hot-headed.
I don't say that out loud, but I'm just like, oh lord, it's a child.
So actually, this did come up in the Hell's Reach movie. You guys have private Vox channels. You guys can just your helmets can be completely audio isolated. You guys can just chat to each other, and normals outside can't know, other than they might hear the click of the.
Ayankora would not be that unserious.
Yeah.
But in his mind, he is definitely going. Oh,
I'm
God,
pretty sure
it's a
that's what we
child.
were doing when we were talking about the squig earlier.
Yes.
Yeah.
No, that is definitely.
That was a side conversation, but yes. So, Governor Agun is young. She took over from her father a couple of years ago when he died in an unfortunate stained glass accident. Because if you don't know, plate glass is very sharp.
Man, how many people have we had die to fucking a stained glass accident? That sounds so wild.
Probably more common on this.
I mean,
planet
it's very striking. It's very unusual. Like, all of you, I should say, I keep saying accident because that's the official story. I'm like, it definitely wasn't an accident. Somebody dropped a fucking... Or somebody broke a plate glass window on top of this guy so he would be, you know, fucking stabbed. But they could write it off as an accident. Like, ain't no way that's normal. But also, not a great way to go. Once again, glass shards are just swords.
I think because of our that poor dexterity, I think we'd break all glass we'd held.
Probably if you tried that. But anyway.
I just have an image of that fucking death from Final Destination where the kid
Please
from the
don't.
dentist just gets the plate box and drops on it.
That's why you take your gauntlets off before you drink the milk.
Well,
Don't grip any glasses or tankards. But yes, she is, like I said, you know, young, maybe a little frail, but she is, you know, bright. Even you guys can probably tell, charismatic, and again, you know, very devout. She is pleased as punch to have 2 whole Space Marines in her palace. You know, angels of the Emperor themselves. And, you know, discusses all of that. she knows imperial scriptures and laws by heart, but her attitude seems to be very, very pious, very direct. She's kind of, like I said, kind of short, waifish, blonde hair. Despite obviously being the governor, you would note that she keeps her hair cut in what is considered the standard sororitas bob cut. But she's very in this, so she's super excited, that you guys are here. With her is her uncle. I mentioned him before. That's the Burgrave Ithamar. Her uncle, her head advisor, and officially the Brigadier General of the Sanctum Temple Guards, the local planetary defense forces. He is a, tall, thin, a little wan man, dark brown hair with gray flecking at the temples. He's got a thin mustache and a little bit of not a goatee, but it's a full beard, but it's a little bit of a pointy, beard. He's wearing the lady governor is wearing, very high quality, very fancy, but definitely like, very pious, robes. They're probably, silk and stuff. And have extra Aquilas on them, but they're definitely robes. The Brigadier General is wearing an exaggerated, uniform. He's got a saber in his belt. He's got a huge coat. Maybe he's got 2 coats, big epaulets, extra ribbons. No, like, medals or anything discernible, hasn't been giving himself any battle honors, but, his uniform is incredibly, like, exaggerated and over the top. Not to say that he seems any less excited, but his demeanor seems not so much pious as bureaucratic. Cautious, regimented, stern.
Using the secret Vox channel, Lutheron will instruct Ayankora, sorry. Better to just use the full name instead of just Ian. To talk to the governor while Lutheron is going to respectfully question. No.
I'm not using sorcery.
It's a joke.
It's also not malefic.
It's a joke.
No. Take
I
off
also
your
don't
helmet.
have any sorcery.
I'd like to feed you some bullets.
No.
Sorry, got distracted. Fuck off.
We have to kill our Techmarine now. He's clearly
Talk to the governor. I'm going to interrogate the Brigadier General just in case.
All right.
Okay.
I'm being suspicious, and yes, I'm playing it this way.
Yeah. Are you actually planning on rolling interrogation?
Yes.
All right.
It is. I'm definitely
roll
going to be
interrogate.
taking him to a different room, though.
You can do that. You guys as a group are the most important people here. Like, there's some debate, about an imperial governor rules an entire world. Like, you guys should keep her opinion in mind. This guy heads up a local planetary defense force. You are giga leagues above him in terms of military authority, and you can just be like, yes, Burgrave, excuse me, I'd like to speak to you in another... Actually, you wouldn't even say I'd like to speak to you. Like, I need to speak to you in another room.
Don't worry.
And he just kind of has to roll with it. Go ahead and roll your interrogation. I want to do this... we won't bother with it. Give me an ordinary interrogation test. For plus 10.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, plus 10, so I have to roll below 90. Let's go.
Yeah.
7
degrees of success?
You stare into his soul.
I went to bed at 9. Oh, wait, who here remembers the fucking Justice League animated bit where they went to the future? It's just old Bruce Wayne from Batman Beyond interrogating that guy.
I can't recall that one, I'm sorry.
Well, I have the table on interrogation.
I had my mouth full of steak, but yes, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Tank is always
Tell
opposed.
me
Let's
now.
see. Does this guy have 50 willpower? No. He's probably rocking like a 40 tops.
1d5 hours.
So you pass with a shitload of degrees. So, what do you want to know? You can probably ask him most of the questions in the world.
Roll your 1d5 for hours. How long are you going to be in here?
That is actually true. You should check how long it takes.
Okay, that ain't bad.
2.
A measly 2.
Considering that you guys are, on foot walking around this town to get various places, this probably isn't too bad for your hookup. It's gonna go dancing across the city.
Like it's like
by the way, if you
continents.
guys are just walking anywhere, the local citizens give you absolutely a wide berth, and also probably most of them, drop to their knees and start making the sign of the Aquila as you pass.
So
Praise the Emperor!
basic questions, I think, for slightly paranoid Lutheron in this situation. Does he know exactly?
Sure you're not Dark Angel? Being paranoid? Sorry.
Not
Does he
paranoid
know
if they're out to
anything
get you.
about the old governor's death? Does he know how often, if any of these accidents are related to the cult we are investigating? Is he aware of the cult? Does he know where they are? Stuff like that.
So yeah, you don't have to apply
information.
any devices or anything there to examine him.
involved?
Yeah, are you a plant? The impression you get back is after thoroughly double checking and rechecking his story. Like I said, you don't have to actually employ any implements or drugs or anything here. Mostly, you just get this guy in a room. You're fucking 8 feet tall.
Your lenses are red.
You're 8 feet tall, and you have a chain scalpel glued to your right hand at all times. Or is it your left? Either way, one of your arms is covered in a surgical suite. So
Yes.
you just occasionally wiggle your forceps or something, and it just he talks. So knowing that you succeeded, like I said, it's you know that he did not have that much willpower. No, he is not directly involved in his brother's death. He is of the opinion it was not an accident. It's just that accident was the only way to put it down on paper. He believes that it was deliberate sabotage. That was the time when he declared martial law in the city, right? So he's basically had the whole city on lockdown since then. He strongly believes that any of these incidents could be, not accidents, but deliberate sabotage. As far as you can tell, you quiz him and look for any signs of heretical thought, any unusual, phrases. You ask him about, anything about a four-armed emperor, and he's just like, no, that's crazy. That's heretical. Our glorious god emperor definitely has 2 hands, 2 feet, 1 skull. So, he doesn't seem like he has been infected by Genestealers. He's not been, hypnotized by psychic powers. You're in close proximity to him. I won't make you roll anything for, 2 hours. He's not mutated, clearly. He doesn't show any signs of being a Genestealer mutant or anything, a hybrid. Again, for starters, remember, hybrids, bald. You can't actually point at them and go bald. That's how you can find them. But so he has not been subverted by the cult. He is not directly connected. He is aware of it. Yeah. I actually don't remember. Do you have a little top knot? Ayankora, are you bald? Actually? Do we need pictures of you? Dallas is muted right now. I don't know if you can hear me.
Yeah.
I'll get back to that joke later.
Check for the cover to speak.
I'm here. I do indeed have a top knot.
Okay.
Okay. Whew. We'll
Can't
joke about
make
pointing
one
the
star
governor's hair
without
in a
one.
second.
I'm not bald either. I just have really short.
You guys
Yeah, you're
don't know.
probably
I never take my
close-cropped.
helmet off.
But yeah, so you ask your questions. He is aware of the cult. What would his opinion be? Honestly, this guy is probably convinced that, with the might of his Sanctum Temple guards and the Emperor's glorious Astra Militarum, it's obvious that the cult is, not anywhere important in Glorious Landing. If they were in the city, if any of them are left after their, riots and sabotage have failed, they would be, crawling around in the old tunnels below the city. He would mention that there used to be a mine here that has been, sealed off, sort of a thing.
And I think at like that kind of, if he says that Lutheron would be, and you haven't investigated?
Well, yeah, you ask about that, and he's like, well, he mentions, well, we have, men to secure the operations below, what is it? The residential block is, which one? Grasp. He's like, we have security functions under Glorious Grasp, to maintain the various facilities there. The geothermal power plant below Glorious Stand is, regrettably, not my direct purview. That is under the subject of the Adeptus Mechanicus, the brothers of the machine cults to operate the machinery that keeps it going. My temple guard are on position in the catacombs below Glorious Gaze, but all of the old mining tunnels should be sealed. It's been he strokes his beard. It's been a while since we've caught any gem poachers, but illegal mining is a executable offense on Sanctum Ice. If we catch you gem poaching, we shoot you. So he's of the opinion that he's patrolling, but there are some areas where they. Normally it's not his authority. That's kind of crystallizing why you guys have objectives to do all this, is because you guys have the broad spanning authority to get in everything everywhere.
Good. So I think I can't word it correctly, but Lutheron will probably say and once me and my battle brothers have finished cleansing the filth from underneath the city, I trust that you will work together with the other avenues here and secure the tunnels so that no further corruption can spread or take root.
Of course, my lord. Merely point my men, and we shall deal with them post-haste. He says, clearly, like I said, struggling with his natural sense to be more cautious, but, wanting to appear, very pious to you. Over the course of this interrogation, you've been talking to this guy for 2 hours, that the PDF here are not heavily armed. They're wearing, feudal world, chain or plate mail. Even though they could afford flak, they don't have the tech base to build it. And they're armed with, swords and las pistols, They're not equipped with heavy gear for even a planetary defense unit. So you don't know how much he's true to his guns, but certainly the local boys would actually try it.
Okay. And then, hopefully not messing this up in character as I say this, keep firm to your righteous beliefs in the Emperor. Hold him in the highest regard, for he is above everyone.
He just, bows and makes the sign of the Aquila. Of course, my lord.
Good. Now, we have been here a while. We should return to see, hopefully, that my battle brother hasn't annoyed your niece too much.
Smash Cut, I'm reasonably certain that the Librarian is not annoying the governor.
I did want to try something.
Yeah, sure. What's up?
Is there a way I can, Okay, so I have to ask a question because I'm gonna be honest, my Space Marine lore is a bit old. If I cast a psychic power, can non-psychically attuned people realize that?
If there's no active warpy stuff, unless you got perils, probably not, because Psyniscience is the skill to like detect warp stuff.
Yeah.
That's an advanced skill, and you can only take it, I think, if you're a psyker.
Yeah. No.
Or adjacent.
Yeah. So I'm gonna try and do something and disguise it as basically giving her a tarot reading.
Oh, I mean, if you're going to whip out the
yeah.
Emperor's Tarot, you would discover that actually, yes, she's well acquainted with the cards. It is, she explains that, you know, she is, the bloodline of the governors on this planet are particularly pious, and, you know, she says that she occasionally, you know, has premonitions, you know, dreams about the Emperor's glory, and she herself is capable of well, she says she's capable of reading the Emperor's Tarot. You're pretty sure that to actually, like, really get the tarot to react, you need to actually be a psyker.
Well, shit. I'm like, well, I can't ask the question I want to ask now. Because the question I'm going to ask is, can I trust this woman? Is this a Genestealer? I really need to know that.
Do you have this, did you take the Science skill?
I have Science plus 10.
You can just roll it as a skill test. There's a table you can detect.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I need to detect that. That's
Yeah,
like
go ahead and roll your
roll your
Science.
Genestealer or a heretic, then cool. But if she is, yeah, that's bad. Yeah, I have Saracen's plus 10.
Yeah, it's a +0 test, but you can make it. Oh.
Okay, is she a Genestealer?
Yeah, you can get the exact position of creatures or psychers present. That's obviously 3
What
or
is
more.
it? Genghis Khan comes into the back of my head and goes, "Hey, here's the answer you're looking for."
The sunlight streaks through the stained glass window of, you know, the Emperor himself behind you, and just shows you. And yeah, no. Based on your Psyniscience test, she is not a psyker. She is also not a warp entity.
Okay.
There are no active warp disruptions in this immediate area, like in this chamber. You do probably get a little bit of a weird read from the direction of the Sororitas Priory, on the account of the fact that you would know that the faith of the Adeptus Sororitas is so strong that they may...
Right, yeah.
As far as you know as a librarian, it's not actually, like, psyker stuff, but their faith is so strong that it can cause a reaction with the Immaterium, including, you know, banishing daemons and shit. So, like, mechanically, there's a talent in this system that Sororitas can take called Pure Faith, where they can spend fate points to do stuff. So, like, she's not a psyker. She does probably have the equivalent of the Pure Faith talent herself and some, you know, faith-based abilities, but no, she is not actively a psyker, which also, and yeah, she's not compromised by the Broodmind or anything like that. She, no untoward warp presences on her. You just get a slight tingle you would from a pious individual of the Imperium.
I will be very cordial with her in that case, and basically explain, without getting into too much detail, I'll basically explain that we're here to investigate, just heresy. I probably won't get into any other details, because I don't want...
She's been loosely briefed that there is a there may be a heretical cult operating, and she hopes that you can find them and root them out.
And as long as she is not now that I know she's not going to turn into like a blue abomination with mouths and claws, I'm going to be totally cordial and nice.
Perfect.
Yes. Yeah, I don't know what exactly the
Steelers
range
are
of
fucking
your
terrifying.
Psyniscience ability is, but technically your librarian, if we can make the check, should be able to detect if anybody is under, you know, psychic wooge.
Yeah.
It's like half
Fortunately,
But basically, I think
I
after that conversation, you guys can come back together, and you guys basically have the plan of the mission now. You know, You want to go below, make sure that you know that the capital is secure, that there are no, Genestealers eating the cables or stealing your copper wiring.
We lost the FCC for that.
That's valuable.
Figure out, if there are any, if these guys like to hide and wait. Is there an army of cultists with stolen guns, waiting for the day of uprising? And if they're there, you should probably shoot them in the face before that happens.
Yeah, to prevent ascension.
But while we take a break, you guys can consider your options. Obviously, Sniperius, I forgot how to say for a second, has already picked a tactical option you want to investigate. But you guys can be accompanied by forces. Because some of these spaces are going to be pretty tight, you cannot be accompanied by a lot of guys, but depending, you can take... you can ask to be accompanied by a squad of Sororitas novitiates. You can be accompanied by a squad of the local Sanctum Temple Guards, the local PDF. I was going to offer to be supported by some Brimlock Dragoons infantry, but I think if you're already asking them to scout ahead... that's already kind of, in place, so we'll probably skip that one for your pick of one of the locals. If you guys have any last-minute adjustments to make to your requisition before we set out, you can go ahead and pick it, and I'm going to pause and refill my bottle of water for a second so you guys can also think about which oath you want to use. Pausing.
All right, we're recording again.
Okay. Yes, the boys have sworn the oath of knowledge. Let us roll... the D10 to scout now. Okay, 8, normal.
Damn, close.
So, that's what? They just give you...
Basic knowledge.
Information about it? Okay, alright. Let's see. Basic information about the presence of the Genestealer cult. How would we phrase this? I will say that you probably have to wait for them to come back up out because, spoilers, when you guys go into the below city, you're not going to have Vox contact with the upper city or your strike cruiser or anything like that. You'll have contact with each other and that's it. But some scouts go below and look around and, they did say they found some signs of some cult iconography, because it is a tertiary objective. I will explain in a second. They did take some pic recordings of that. And let's see, they were told to scout. So yes, they would probably report that they did spot some individuals which could just have been, criminals or abhumans, but also could have been, the heretical cultists in the old mining tunnels. So they will point you towards where you want to go to get your info. It does confirm that there are probably some guys in there with you. Some guys to shoot.
Cool.
Out of character, you could have assumed that, but, the Battle Brothers didn't know.
Good, would hate to go down there for nothing.
It's true.
So, before I explain the tertiary objective, as you may have noticed from the map, this a triangle.
Yep.
So, you guys get to pick your entry point. You can go down in Glorious Gaze, Glorious Stand, or Glorious Grasp. You are supposed to, for the sake of the mission, reconnoiter all of them and, make sure that there is no insidious cult activity in them, make sure they are secure. But you can start wherever you like. As pointed out, Glorious Stand is mostly dedicated to an ancient geothermal power plant. You can access it through, one or more large lifts. It is mostly protected by the Adeptus Mechanicus. Sorry, silencing Discord notifications. But that's basically what's below there. It's mostly the operation for power generation via geothermal and the cooling required, or the secondary, infrastructure stuff. And that one's designated Alpha. Beta is the section below Glorious Grasp. That has a what is called the Immunitarium, the water treatment plant. And that is basically where they do water treatment. I don't know if anybody has scholastic lore, whatever the fuck scholastic lore that would be, but they do water treatment there. They turn it from, dirty water to clean water. There's a series of, canals and switches where basically the water, is infused, pumped, siphoned, has filtration and sediment tanks which get out the heavy particles, runs through calcidation, oxification. They separate out stuff, and then it runs down the aqueduct to join the reservoir in the geothermal power plant. You also know that there are some secondary facilities down there, such as fungal farms for the production of, fungus foods. There are storage caverns, and there is the sulfurarium where they link up the Solfatara, which is they have the geochemical vents in the caverns and the natural waste from the water control to move together to isolate sulfur and other volatiles. And Sector Gamma is under Glorious Gaze. Most of that is taken up by the catacombs, which you can be reasonably certain are, the catacombs are actually secure because they are, patrolled by the Temple Guard and sanctified on the regular by priests. But there are unused sections of the old mine which have not yet been converted to catacombs where you might explore. This is where the stories of gem poachers are.
Okay.
So which triangle would you like to start at?
I want to start with Glorious Grasp, but that's my pick.
Glorious Grasp.
Well, hold on. Scrolling up to look at it again. Glorious Grasp is where all the food stuff is, right?
Yep.
Yeah,
Yes.
I recommend that be the first place we look to secure.
You are the kill team lead.
I'm good with that one as well.
Anyone else have any issues or suggestions?
Nope.
No issues.
Okay.
Right, we start at Sector Beta. Anybody got their helmet off?
Nope. I got mine on.
No.
I'm switching helmets.
Dirty on.
Yes. Should I not?
Well, as you guys go below in the surface lift, by the way, you are accompanied by a squad, a magnitude 10 of Sorotas Novitiates. Like I said, they are in flak armor, like Imperial Guardsmen, but in a slightly different pattern. Let me actually grab an image real quick, because it's funny how Sorotas are, described as nuns with guns. But, they're covered in power armor, so they don't look it. But, for instance, this is the kill team box of Novitiates squad. So, yeah, they're dressed in that.
I don't know what that gun is, but it looks like a Blackfire pistol cyberized.
Yeah, that's all.
No, it's just an auto pistol. They are equipped with rebreathers, so they don't have to worry about any pollution. But anybody who is not wearing their helmet, the main access point here is you either have to climb the oodles of stairs and ramps down into the fungal farms, or you take the access shaft elevator directly to waste treatment, and it smells foul down here. It is a combination of awful human waste along with sulfur and methane and the sharp tang of cleansing chemicals. If you are breathing it unfiltered, Ayankora, I need you to make me a toughness test.
You get plus 30 against
well-
poisons.
Sure, why not? I'll make a toughness test.
It's that or put on your helmet.
Nah, I'm not compromising my look. I make it.
Okay. You do not take a -10 on all tests while in the smell for 10 minutes from sheer distraction.
Because it's plus 20 versus poisons, right?
Here's just
I think it's like 30, but you're fine. You're not overpowered by the stink. It does, fill your nostrils, but you've probably smelled worse.
I've definitely smelled worse.
This is a very normal smell. That's out there. So your multi-lung, make sure to filter out most of the badness from actually affecting you. It's just like your senses report, damn, it sucks out here. So, as mentioned before, you are primarily, coming down through a cramped elevator shaft into a cramped space. You start in the immunitarium, the waste treatment plants. You see, unfolding before you in a low-hanging cavern, a series of reservoirs, vats, and tanks connected by pipes and pumps. They pump up spring water from down below. Wastewater filters down from above, and there are many leaky, rusty pipes. Going around. It's like an Aliens movie. Everything in here is damp. So shiny. But it goes through a series of clarification, oxidation tanks, sedimentation tanks where it all gets filtered out. They have a number of separators which filter out CO2, methane, and biosolids from the water. You do not need to know what biosolids are. You already know. And at the other end of that, it is dumped out into the aqueduct, which flows into Sector Alpha. There is probably a administratum functionary to explain its functions to you. As you guys look around, you see some of the local workers, with poles or nets stirring the water. Simple, lower serfs with spanners and pry bars and stuff, releasing pressure on valves, adjusting pipes, carrying big tubs of cleansing chemicals to dump into the tanks and etc. The people here are clearly the lowest caste of Sanctum Ice. Some of them are obviously criminals or debtors, but others are just kind of just the lowest of the low in here. That said, any of them who do see you, immediately seeing armored Marines accompanied by a cadre of identifiable sororitas, all of them make the sign of the Aquila or lift an imperial rosary, etc., and say several Ave Imperators. I was wondering what the equivalent of a Hail Mary would be. There are also fungal farms, which are a series of layered, caverns of several tiers, which connect to the immunitarium because, you can recycle fertilizer from there to grow the local mushrooms. Examining those people working here, the workers are a step above the social ladder to the waste workers. But they look clearly overworked because since there's food rationing due to the orc invasion, they're working around the clock. There's also the series of storage caves, which are just, stone-cut caves filled with shelves, which are connected to cargo elevators. They're mostly used to store the processed fertilizer, the byproducts of the waste treatment, or they also store stuff here like cleaning chemicals and cleaning salts, bags of sand and waste rock, etc. And then there is the sulfarium, which is the manufactory which draws the sulfur chemicals I mentioned. Pipes, vats, and tanks and filters and stuff are just like the waste treatment, but they're a lot more close together. It smells, decidedly more caustic and acidic there. The going on. The workers there, utilize rebreathers and stuff that are rated for that sort of thing. So, I mentioned before, you guys have a tertiary objective to eliminate cult iconography. This is a kill marker mission, where basically I'm going to want you to hit 25 kill markers on it. But how do you find cult iconography? Basically, when you guys are securing a section, I'm going to ask you to do a search check if you want to search around. In addition to anything else you may find specific to that location, if you pass your search checks, you may discover cult iconography, which will be of X number of value. So, I would like for you to at least make search checks in the waste treatment plant to look around for any signs of any activity. And if you have any specific things you want to search or any other skills you want to apply.
I would like to look for signs of heresy.
Okay, you can roll FL heretics as well.
Yep.
Anything else? Any other specific skills?
I find heresy.
Jesus Christ!
What the?
That's
Here's my
twice.
dice tonight.
Well, Dallas, it's because you didn't put a D, dumbass. This time.
Oh,
Oh.
well. Did I
Yeah,
do
do it
that
again.
the last time? Hold on.
I don't remember.
Except the game save that one.
Yeah, that's game state. This, you didn't put a D. That's why it's a 1.
Let's see, other than
No, I don't find heresy.
Alright.
General. I need to look.
I was thinking it was too good.
I'd like to do tech use to check for any like different kind. If there's any been like slow sabotage or like damage. Like
You
slow
can roll
damage
tech use to check on the quality of the infrastructure. This will just be the +10 from your combi tool. There are not machine spirit interfaces for you to
Understandable.
You can't MIU the waste treatment plant. I'm sorry.
I understand. Or the electrograph, which also
You-
applies to.
You might be able to electrograph or MIU the geothermal plant. That's
I might.
not quite
that
archaeotech,
that might have
but
like a,
that's
that might have
directly
a,
maintained by tech
that-
priests.
that might have a system BIOS.
Yeah.
That is
You get shitloads.
at least 3 degrees of success.
Sniperius is not looking to search for anything. Instead, he's keeping an eye out for hostiles.
Yeah, I trust these.
Make
guys
me an
to do
awareness
their-
test then. Sniperius.
Since okay,
Difficulty?
We'll say challenging +0, but remember you have at least heightened senses, sight and auto senses and shit too.
Yeah, I also have an specs.
I should
Oh
actually
yeah, you also have
prospects,
your
yeah.
aspects.
But
Well, you're tech using, so
yeah.
one at a time, gang.
well, I don't know.
Before I say what Khyr figured out, Brand, Lutheron, any particular look-ins you want to make?
I was going to go ahead.
Lutheron was also going to go check, but since Sniperius has done that, I think he'll just continue just standing there leading.
Right.
So yeah. So ignore me.
Brand is going to. I'm going to try and use tracking to see if I can spot any signs of groups moving through. Like not individual like workers, but like groups.
No, +0 is phrased as challenging. We'll call it a challenging test. I was wondering if this would be extra difficult, but no, you're clearly looking for, like you said, unusual signs, not like workers, doing their daily routines. So yes,
Yeah.
Go ahead and roll your tracking.
Right.
All right. Step 1. Well, actually, we'll do it in this order. Khyr, tech use. You look over the equipment in the Immortarium, in the Solar, Sulfurtarium, etc. Everything seems to be within acceptable working order. Not pitch perfect order, that might be a little suspicious, but everything is functional and appears to be getting its daily maintenance. In particular, the what are they called? The sulfurarium workers, the sulfur workers. Like I said, they're wearing like rebreathers and wearing like protective gear. They're not gonna like stance up against a an Astartes, let alone a Techmarine, you know, but they're looking over your shoulder as you work, and they're definitely like they have a dangerous, dirty job, but they take pride in it because it is like actually dangerous. So like they take things very seriously. You do note, though, with those extra degrees of success, normally I would have called for a Scholastic Lore, Judgment, or Chemistry, but you've rolled really good on a tech use and you're examining it. You do notice that it would appear that some of the equipment in the Sulphurarium specifically has been repurposed. You know, some of the filtering and processing equipment has repurposed to produce chems and drugs. You're not sure exactly when that was. But it does look like some people have been running some simple stills and some, common refinement of, some like basic narcotics and stimulants.
That's not what I'm here for, but I guess I'll tell the leader if it's like, do we bother sending this to the governor about it?
You can report it to the local Arbites. I mean, you can crush it with your server arm, but yeah, you can just report it to the cops.
It's like not my responsibility to deal with this, but like at least tell the people that it's their job for.
Yeah. All right. Next, Sniperius. So you are keeping an eye out for threats. You're looking around. You're scanning with your auspex. You got your helm. You got all your stuff going on. You spot no immediate threats, but also, actually, I should check with the 71. Brand, did you pass that tracking check?
Unfortunately, not. It was a 50.
Okay. I expected so at only +0, but
yeah, it
I
is
never know with you guys.
unfortunately an intelligence check, not a perception check. So.
Okay, makes sense. So yeah, you can't pick out any particular footprints that look unusual. Everybody is going around in here and basically like either like steel-toed work boots or like anti-caustic rubber welly boots, right? So like nobody's footprints stand out as particularly unusual, and the crowd of workers can get fairly large when they go into work on their shifts because everything is manpower powered.
Makes sense.
But in your attempt, you explore all the areas and you briefly get into the warehouse. Sniperius, you're kind of patrolling around, surveying for threats. You are able to warn Brother Brand before he stumbles across, because he is looking at the ground, not looking at head height. Well, chest height for a Space Marine, but you know what I mean. It appears that in a section of the warehouse, there are some booby traps. There are... let me roll a d10 to determine. There look to be 4 primitive mines built out of like blasting charges for mining, or like simple pipe bombs filled with fertilizer and sulfur or something, sticks of dynamite, rigged to some simple tripwires or laser tripwires or something.
Thank you, brother.
And they're in the like dark back corners of the warehouse, the storage caves.
Second.
And you did roll a per skill and pass, so hold on. Sniperius, you do also spot a heretical poster.
Well, Sniperius will go over and well, actually, no. Some of the novitiates have flamers, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Sniperius will point at the poster wordlessly.
The requisite novitius just shouts, "Ave Imperator!" It's burned. 1 out of 25.
Sniperius gives a nod of solidarity to the novitiate.
There are some crude explosives over here. Do you have knowledge about disarming them?
I didn't hear you referring to. Sorry.
I said Brother Khyr.
Yes, I. Let me get to you then. Let me get to your position. I'll handle it.
Sensu.
All right. Roll demolitions.
All right then. Can I actually that's a tech use specifically there. I don't think that's a bomb kit
This
thing.
is a demolitions test.
Difficulty?
Yeah, +0. It's just normal demo.
That's a failure. I think I'm gonna lose a fate point.
Okay.
'Cause I don't.
Reroll them.
I don't want to blow myself immediately. I don't think it will do that much. That's worse.
They are demo charges.
Okay, that's definitely going off.
Yeah, that's 4 degrees, or that's 4 above my score.
Okay.
Or at least it's only me getting hit.
I never said Brand left.
They're only blast 1. You'd have to be within a meter.
Okay. I just didn't know how much
That's
big
going to be
blast they were.
only 9 pen 1. I think you're fine. I rolled pretty bad.
My armor is 9 in every zone, and 11 in my body.
I think it would probably be just to your like. Actually, does it say where blast weapons go? It might be to your lowest armor rating, but I'm sure your toughness eats it. Because, like I said, it's
I'm like
9 pen 1.
12, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Pipe bomb goes off. Shrapnel clangs off the front plate of your armor.
Wipe
You've
the
got a
front of
little
my
soot
helmet.
smudge on it. Yeah.
How disgraceful.
Honestly, if
expecting something
anything,
with a bit
Brother
more
Khyr, you were
teeth.
probably undone by the fact of how but simple it was.
I cut the wire. It's blew up.
Yeah, no, they were incredibly crude. Like I said, they are literally like the equivalent of like dynamite with like some simple trip fuses.
Is that just one
but-
of them, or are they all gone now?
No, we'll say that's all of them. I will make him roll 4 times. If you guys want to examine the warehouse, the storage caves, this is required a search check. Search per.
All right, let me go.
I have
Plus
search.
0.
Wait, no, do I? No, I don't.
Search
You
the
What
will
is
have it
the
as a
base
basic
help?
at least.
I need to
Basic.
What's it
Um,
based
I'm
on?
gonna double check how the aspects.
It would be a visual based per if your heightened senses works that way, but it is not an awareness check. It is a
Who has
search to
good
search.
per?
I do. And
Well,
I'm
I mean,
pretty
you
sure
can all
Sniperius
roll if you want to
does.
search. It's one of those things of like,
Let's all roll.
figure it out.
So let's see.
That makes sense.
The senses are for heightened sight based.
Oh wow, I
awareness
actually
tests.
make it.
Mm-hmm.
It's like plus 22. It's awareness test specifically.
Okay, no, it is search.
Yeah, I actually make it. With 2 degrees of success.
How?
Because isn't it a plus? Didn't I actually say it's a plus 20? Or was he?
No.
Was I misinformed?
You
Okay,
said
then,
it's not a plus
I-
20.
It's
Then I
for
make
awareness
it.
tests.
then I
I
make
need
it.
somebody to roll a search test if you want to answer that question, Lucky
I
asked.
did. I make it. I make it with 0 degrees of success.
Oh, if it's basic
1
cut in half, I
degree.
do not, unfortunately.
Well, okay. So, do you or do you not have search trained?
I do.
You do have search trained?
Wait, hold on, let me check. I thought.
I'm pretty sure it's a
second-
basic skill for
Those
everybody,
can
but
be-
basic is not trained.
Yeah, basic is not trained. You have to have the 2 boxes. Or the second box.
31, does that work for you, Khyr?
No, because I only have 40 perception, and it's basic, so it cuts in half, so unfortunately, no.
Oh,
Is
yeah,
search
no,
not
in
something
that
you
case-
guys can pick up easily, or did we just not do that?
No, search is a rank 1 thing, yeah. I see it now, yeah.
Okay, so it's just we don't have any searching.
I'm
Yeah,
100
I'll
figured
probably
out that.
change here. I didn't realize how bad basic skills are. Jesus,
Yeah,
having
I can't-
your fucking ugh.
Yeah, I can't.
Like I said,
What's
I
the
like
basic
I like the minus 20 version better, but that is not strictly how Deathwatch is written. It's
But
written
some
with
bases
the
like you
old
just
way.
roll a flat, but like
Omega.
I think that
You know, if that's trained to roll flat.
Omega, I'm going to ask. Can I search for heresy?
No.
I'm gonna use a fate point and reroll mine.
Yeah.
All right.
Sorry.
I have such a low
Lutheron,
margin.
did you attempt?
No, I did not attempt. I was waiting for
Oh,
everyone else.
There we
Never mind,
go.
Okay, the fate point worked.
don't have search as a trained skill.
No, that's okay. I just like if you wanted to roll it because it's just one of those things where we're like, oh shit, nobody has search.
I'll probably buy it then.
Okay, hold on. I have to roll something. All right, Brand.
Yes.
You look around. You follow the trail. You were looking through where those demos were. The storage caves are like extra dimly lit, and the only people here are, well, one, if you call them people, there's a handful of load lifting servitors who like move all the shit, and then there are a couple, like maybe four or five at most on a shift, administrators who are just like wearily checking shit off their data slates. But what you discover is that in some of those dark corners, you're checking the shelves. Several of the shelves, which are clearly labeled to store, should be storing sacks of fertilizer and, drums and canisters of industrial acids for cleaning, are understocked. It appears that somebody has been pilfering basic materials, and this is perhaps what was booby-trapped. Also, it's like 2 through 5, 2 through 4. Yes, on the wall you find some heretical script or graffiti. Something like "Glory to the four-armed emperor." We was here, kind of a thing.
I'll rip it off the wall. If it's like a poster.
Oh no, it's like I said, it's graffitied. It's printed in there. You may require some sort of tool to scratch it out, or that.
Need a flamer back here.
Turn it carbon black.
If no one else is willing to provide a sister will novitiate will come up and push that down. All right.
And then I'll report my findings also to Lutheron.
We're now at
to our box.
3 of 25.
Mm-hmm.
Because that was worth two kill markers.
Woo.
But basically, I can tell you that you guys have effectively accomplished the securing of Alpha. You've discovered there are no active enemy targets here.
That's good.
Trust me, Sniperius, he's real sure. There's nobody with hostile intent here.
Yeah.
The main thing is that you noticed the missing supplies, some other vague criminal stuff going on, and some booby traps.
Can I just because I don't think there's any negatives to me doing this, can I just quickly scan the area with the senescience?
Yeah, you can attempt a senescience
there's
test.
no
I think it's just like a full action.
It's half action, actually.
Ooh, half action even. Okay.
Right, yes, because
Ah,
you are a
yeah, that's right.
trained
It's for
psychic.
that.
I'm a good thing.
So,
good at
if you guys, you can if you want ask your workers about anything.
Don't you have 5 hit points?
He does.
I'm going to roll that because that's.
This is silly. Zinch, pops out and is like,
Flicks you.
Hey, man, I'm here to talk to you about your limited time warranty on your car.
Nope. God damn.
All right, don't bother.
Okay, you failed. You failed it this time. You cannot re-roll again. Who has access to these shelves? You can. I won't make you roll to query the administrators. They're just like, well, the servitors do. The waste workers can come to drop off stuff. The farmers can retrieve those fertilizers. He like frantically scrolls through his data slate. I'm just imagining it's like one of those old school style like ticker tape printers for like if you've ever seen them, those old school calculators, right? That like have to print out the results, and he's just like reeling off results, and he's just like, no, there's not supposed to be anybody who's took that. No, I'll have to report that to the. I have to report that to the arbiters. There goes my bonus ration.
Sniperius will inquire when was the last time these shells were restocked.
Oh, when was the time? Probably they were like he rolls his reel back in, probably checks. They were probably topped off. Let's say a nice recent but not too recent number. Probably a couple of weeks ago. So recent thefts.
They're still in fertilizer and stuff. That probably means they're making bombs.
Before they self-detonated, Brother Khyr was of the opinion that, yes, those demo charges were either, like I said, they were either mining charges or improvised simple pipe bomb explosives. So, yeah.
So, there might be more booby traps, and we need to probably be wary of explosives. Cool. Okay, great. File that away.
Yeah.
It wasn't much.
Do you have any other questions for any of the workers? Otherwise, well, time to pick a transit route.
The Aqueduct?
You guys want to go down the aqueduct?
Yeah.
The
grind down it?
tram line.
Surf down it.
I mean, it's a decent incline, so maybe.
I'm not going to. We have all the novitiates, unless we're going to carry all the novitiates as we do it.
I mean, no,
I think I could carry like 4 of them.
I do.
Or 5 of them.
I mean, listen, there's some crates made out of wood here. You could probably, if you give him a couple hours, Brand could probably construct a simple raft.
Or sled.
Go back to his Viking roots and construct a rudimentary longship.
How deep is the aqueduct?
So, let's see. Let me check it. The aqueduct is here. So it's a large, long channel dug underground. It's designed to move the water so it doesn't freeze, basically.
Yep.
Because by the way, in the under Glorious Grasp, it is not cold outside because there is, geothermal vents and piping and industry shit going on. The transits between them might be a little cooler, though they are underground. So the aqueduct is a roughly semicircular passage. It starts higher up on your side and so slopes down. It's about 300 meters long. It is described as a gentle slope from the upper levels of Beta down to Site Alpha, the reservoir below it. It's about between 40 and 50 meters across. It's long, dimly lit. There's mist and condensation everywhere. If you want to make any hearing-based checks, you will be at minus 22 awareness because there is a constant rush of water. I did not particularly note how deep it is. There are grates and side channels for maintenance dug into it, so you don't have to walk in the water. But if you wanted to walk in the water, it's probably about a meter deep, designed to be about a meter deep.
Would that be difficult terrain then?
Yes, it probably would be difficult terrain for you guys, or anybody actually. Also, it's probably difficult terrain on the fact that it is moving water. Like gravity is slamming this stuff downhill.
Okay.
You guys are powered armor and weigh 2,000 kilos, I think, or something.
Mm-hmm.
There's metal grates you can mag boot too, so you probably don't have to worry about it, but it is decently fast moving.
I say we move down to aqueducts, make sure it's secured.
Make sure
we could try one
that
last.
the generator hasn't been tampered with either.
I would like that.
Yes.
All right.
You know what?
Like I said, it's pretty wide and very long, so you don't have to necessarily go in single file order. But is there any care you guys make about your battle formation you'd like to bring up?
Sniperius would like to bring up the rear to guard our backs and to make maximum use of his range.
I'd like to take the front.
Yeah, I'm about to say, if you're at the back, you have a good. Okay, so Kyr's in the front. Ka-chung, 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 ka-chung.
So, not Sniperius. I'm not Sniperius. Why was I trying to talk for Sniperius? Lutheron will suggest or command himself, Khyr, and Aren at the front, Sniperius at the back, and Brand in the middle.
You You sure
That's
you don't
fine.
want Brand up front? Him with his heavy bolter with his fucking metal storm rounds?
Well, he
Okay.
also has a decent amount of range.
This is true.
Yes. 'Cause
I
at least
assume
that
kind of
way-
like the novitiates in the middle because
Yeah.
they're armed with crossbows and flamers. They are not super long range.
It's gonna be I was gonna put Brand with the novitiates.
I would like some novitiates at the rear with Sniperius just in case.
The flamers go with Brand, the crossbow women go with Temperius.
Yeah, you can probably split them up. So the funny thing is that technically in Kill Team, the crossbow novitiates count as the marksman unit because they're silent. But the actual like crossbow stats in this game are their basic range is 50 meters is the middle mark.
Jesus.
So not super long, but okay.
50 inches is pretty
Better
good
than a
in the middle.
flamethrower.
So which side?
Also, yes, people at home would be like, yes, novitiates technically should have access to auto guns too, but I think it's more interesting if they have, crossbows and flamers.
Yeah.
I know you were going to ask something, Sniperius.
Oh no, I was just asking. So which? Are the crossbow women with Sniperius or the flamer women? I didn't hear properly.
Crossbows. We'll give you the ranged.
Excellent.
Makes
All
sense.
right. While you guys are walking, you guys get about halfway down the tunnel, and you don't see anything obvious. I could have you make awareness tests, for hidden enemies, but by me not making you can assume that there are not hidden enemies. It's like it's dark in here, and there's a little bit of mist and fog because of the water flowing, but you guys have, dark sight, auto senses, heightened sight and shit. So to you, it is a long, open shooting gallery, basically, and you are pretty sure nobody creeping up the aqueduct in front of you. When you get about halfway through, though, you guys are probably like maybe 100, 120 meters down. You start picking up a signal on your local Vox frequency. Your local Vox channels are slammed up with some transmission. Does any of you wish to tune into it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Definitely.
The glorious star angels of the four-armed emperor will come, brothers. They will rise up from below. We will overturn this world. Earth shall become sky. Sky shall fall to earth. Glory in his presence. Sorry, I'm trying really hard not to break into that fucking preacher from Skyrim. Praise Talos. But yeah, no. The local Vox is slammed with heretical radio.
If I wanted to trace where that's coming from, what would I do?
You have an Auspex?
I do.
You can roll tech use with your Auspex to
All right,
track local radio signals. Yeah.
That's actually I assume it'd be a challenging roll.
Yeah. Sorry, I didn't say it, but it should be plus 0.
4 degrees success.
Yeah, no. You switch this thing over to RF frequency. It gives you the classic 3 bars, and you just hold it and communicate and zero in. As you get closer to it, over the sound of rushing water, you can start to hear over like a tinny crappy loudspeaker this same transmission. When they can actually hear it, because they do not have augmented hearing, they're not wearing powered armor, but all of the sisters immediately make the sign of the Aquila at this heretical nonsense, and are ready to go. And what you find though is a clustered hodgepodge transmitter plugged directly into because like I said, there are dim lights in here, so there's probably cables full of the electric force, whatever the motive force they call it. Yeah. So there are emergency lights strung in. Somebody's bolted a loudspeaker and just a a repeating Vox cylinder into it to just loop this message over and over again on local radio frequencies and over loudspeakers.
Okay, so it's a recording. Okay.
Yeah, it's a recording. There's not a live man here, but there is a heretical broadcast.
I think Khyr wants to elegantly remove it, but if he does, he's just gonna rip it out.
This is the source of heresy. Destroy it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it needs to
Just
go.
rip it out. Just rip it out of the wall.
Yeah, I won't even make you make a strength test.
I'll
You just
cylinder
have
out.
the clamps of your servo arm grab where it's attached and just, and then you just
Actually
slowly close the clamps.
I actually have a bigger strength rating than my server arm currently. Actually, no, it's about the same.
Oh.
Actually.
Okay, they're about the same, but yeah, and just the last thing you know before it gets crushed is like, tear down the frost I do.
What a waste of good speakers.
Anyway, that was with +5 kill marker, so you are at 8 out of 25 on your eliminating cult iconography.
Yay.
And there are no further encounters in the aqueduct. You guys, trundle down the way and enter Sector Alpha. The side you come in from in Sector Alpha is actually, you come out on the ground access or the bottom layer access to the cooling chamber. Khyr would know this. Normally, when you're building cooling for power plants and the like, you build a tower above ground, but obviously, with the way this planet is, you have a lot more underground space than, above ground space to work with easily. Otherwise, you'd have to build a cooling tower out of a mountain cliff.
Like the ice sheets.
Yeah, it would be trickier. So you guys, walk through a access door into a huge, cylindrical rock crate tube, a chamber running up, probably like, 150 meters tall, 40 meters across. Catwalks and like access stairs, dot this thing constantly so that, it can be kept in clean repair and smoothed, etc. There are pipes and access hatches in the top of it, which are dumping the natural steam from the power plant into here. And above, like in the top, there are giant industrial fans sucking in cool, dry air from outside. So basically, the natural steam, gets condensed all the way back down to liquid water. Any leftover steam is like captured by secondary fans and piped up to the city. And below you is, a grate where the aqueduct with the cleaned water, flows in, and it joins the condensing steam and returns to the natural reservoir below where it can be, geothermally heated and boiled.
Natural place for actual geothermal reactor.
Yeah. So, there are basically two directions you can go from here if you want to check the place out. And I'm mentioning them not in a montage form because one of them is a little more specific than the others. You can go like up through the catwalks into the actual geothermal power plant. That is where the steam, spins turbines. It's connected to a flash chamber where there's actually a boiler to increase the pressure and pump it in there. And actually spin turbines. That would be crewed, from your briefing that they would be crewed by sorry, I forgot what they were called for a second, but the not tech priests, but the sorry, a little dry all of a sudden. I think they're is it just serfs? No, chapter service, sorry.
Servitor or peasant.
No, there are servitors, but they are
Technicians.
Let's just say, because I can't find the exact word right now, they are not tech priests, but they are basically lay people to the Mechanicus cult. They are in the service of the machine cult, but they are not, not heavily cyberized, not inured to any greater mystery. So,
Something anointed. I can't place it.
It's a word I have somewhere for something else later, but it's like I said, it's not important right now. They are also like crewed by servitors and secured at the access points by sentry guns, and there are actually some tech guards, some skitari down here. When you guys come in through the aqueduct, you probably like actually notice there is a probably double las gun or double multi las. I think that might be the smallest, but there's actually a sentry gun like built into the ceiling that observes you, but of course does not fire because you are the Emperor's most holy Astartes.
If there's any, I guess, Skitari that looks at us, I think I just do a greeting in Technolinga.
Yeah, there's probably down at the cooling tower. There's not anybody, but you would know if you went up to tour the power plant to be up there. So you can go up the catwalks and go into the power plant. If you want to go to check out the steam pumps and the flash chamber from the cooling tower, that is accessed through a maintenance tunnel. The maintenance tunnel is about 150 meters long, but it's just shy of 4 meters in height and about 4.5 meters wide.
So, like, single file.
Yeah. You might get two Astartes shoulder to shoulder, but you would be scraping the walls. So, if you want to thoroughly examine, obviously you'll want to, scope that out, but you don't have to go there first. You could go through the power plant as well.
Yeah.
I don't know. I always feel there's something hiding in maintenance tunnels, so I would definitely like to go check it out.
Well, Lucky took the words right out of my mouth.
Sorry.
No, it's okay. It's
just Taciturn to Taciturn communication because Lutheron and Sniperius are both the quiet guys.
I look at Lutheron. Lutheron looks at me. I nod. He nods. We turn towards the maintenance tunnel.
Yeah.
The maintenance tunnel nods.
We shoot the maintenance tunnel.
Well, I know the there isn't actually a sentry gun in the maintenance tunnel, but if there was, the sentry gun would nod.
It's kind of like I was thinking about we start at the lowest point, then go up. Honestly, probably the way to check this.
Well, the maintenance tunnel is basically level because it takes you from the bottom of the cooling tower directly across to the flash chamber where the steam is generated. If you want to go higher, that would take you through the actual power plant because you got to go up where the steam is.
We'll check the lower points first.
All right. Like I said, you guys are probably going single file. What's your marching order?
Personally, I think I would like Sniperius to go first. With his super high, senses, he'd probably be able to spot something first and probably react before we got stuck into a cluster. By the way, are we in squad mode?
You are not explicitly in squad mode because you haven't activated it, but you can be in squad mode if you like. You have to say you're entering squad mode. Did we actually figure out what your cohesion is right now? I don't remember.
I don't think we did.
We should probably do that now.
Yeah.
Turn that now.
And what would that?
What's your fellowship bonus?
3.
That's what our cohesion is.
Did you also get the banner that improved it, I think?
No, I don't have it.
Okay.
No, he has he has his tabard, but I don't remember if it's the bonus cohesion one.
Yeah, no, my tabard doesn't do anything to bonus cohesion. It's just a tabard, I believe.
Yes, every restores actually says restores 1 bonus cohesion for every
primary objective achieved. Yeah.
Actually, so yeah, you are +1 right now. It says bonus, so you're 4 cohesion.
Yeah. It's actually good.
I guess we did secure that.
Yeah,
sector,
but you have to complete primary objectives. Okay. So Sniperius, if nobody objects, Sniperius in the front with his extra long range and his actually good sensing ability.
I'll be behind.
Yeah, I was gonna say probably Khyr second or middle because he is the Techmarine. So if you actually see anything that needs techno-googleizing
or a bomb to defuse, I can at least be in the front of everyone.
That's also true. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So Sniperius, Khyr, Aren, Brand, me.
You'll take up the
Anyone?
rear.
Yeah, I'll take up the rear this time. Look, it's a taciturn sandwich we've got going on over here.
Leading from the back, I see. There's definitely a joking tone when Brand says this.
Yeah, you can sit by me. Like I will count as cover.
Since you're only going single file, an Astartes should be able to press against a wall to allow another Astartes to move past him. It will be close, but you can work with it.
I guess the
Also, how much fucking how much acrobatics do you have, Sniperius?
Right now, plus 10. With an agility of 80.
You could do fucking front flips.
He's just doing fucking free ball Sonic flips.
Was that you said like the other day about Sniperius being normal?
I'm very normal.
He's just
his agility is
I'm just fast
not
as fuck.
normal. He is fast as fuck, boy.
Movement
All right.
is
Anyway,
in personality.
Okay. Since you are in the front, that means that I would like Sniperius to make me an awareness test. Let's see, is this
Right down the middle. Literally.
Pleasure. Yeah. And the aspects too.
Yeah, well, I'm waiting for Omega to say what the difficulty was. I'll give the final number.
I believe this will be challenging me because it should be opposed.
Okay. But with plus 25 and then plus 45. Plus 20, 25, that's plus 45 to my 55. So, that's 5 degrees of success.
All right, that beats my 1 degree of success. So you guys start walking. You're looking. I assume looking with just your normal helmet and your Auspex scanner out.
Yes.
Yeah, not like looking through a scope. You move. Probably not that far at 5 degrees. You notice pretty fast. But you notice roughly midway down, probably about 70-ish meters from you, in the middle of the maintenance hallway, there's just some guy standing. You look at him, you can, you've got enhanced vision and everything. But it's a guy, dressed in simple survivalist clothes, probably got some armored boots on, wearing a big cloak, that billows dramatically in the non-existent wind, kind of arms hanging at his side. Just mad dogging you. Well, he's wearing a cloak, so it's hard to see, but it's probably just 2. Or is it? But he is kind of, standing in the shadows between emergency lights, but he did not get that many degrees of success on his, be concealed test.
How do I want to handle this? Well, no, he'll pass. No, actually, no. Sorry, I'm thinking. Sniperius is immediately going to switch to his shotgun, bring it to his shoulder and bellow, hands up, remove your cloak to the figure.
All right. So all of you are aware that's Sniperius says that. You see the figure kind of pause, kind of stand up straighter. He realizes that you've seen him and kind of gently, raise his hands, slowly. And then, as the cloak kind of falls back, he's gonna with his third arm, quick draw one of his guns, and then probably quick draw the other 2 guns, and he's going to attempt to draw on you. We should probably roll initiative to see if he can draw faster than you. Because if you're curious, as his cloak billows back, he looks a little bit like this.
Why can't I
Glad you're
roll
doing it.
high
I don't
on a
know.
fucking initiative check? I swear I roll 3 like every time. The only reason I ever get like the only reason I get so high is because I put so many points into my agility. Like, fun fact, I'm still an 11, but look at fucking Loth rolling goddamn 9 here.
True.
Hold on, what's my agility now?
What user agility now?
Nope.
All right.
I
Kill
can't,
that.
I can't really
And
expect it because it's
I'm
like the
pretty
really
sure,
expensive
but
thing.
I'll ask you guys if you know. I'm pretty sure I don't add.
Oh!
I rolled 8. He's also an 11.
I need to get lightning reflexes or whatever the thing that lets me do 2 rolls, because this is bullshit.
Let's see. Lightning reflexes. Actually, yeah. Which version is this? Lightning reflexes.
I don't
Is
know
it
if it's
roll
rapid
twice?
reaction or lightning reflexes, but one of them lets you roll twice for initiative.
Okay, that's lightning reflexes. Is roll twice and add their agility bonus. Do you guys know if you add unnatural agility to initiative?
That affects your initiative bonus. I mean, your agility bonus, so you should.
Yeah, you would.
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
So I roll twice. I pick which one to apply. Well, I'm going to apply it to the 10.
Yeah.
Yeah, this guy
so
is
that
literally a
means this
gunslinger,
guy
yeah.
is going at 20.
Wow.
Yep. No, yeah, I hate Tyranids. Fucking Tyranids.
This isn't a Tyranid, this is a Genestealer.
Okay, they're the same faction.
No, they're not.
Not actually.
not.
Oh,
Because
right.
the cults do not know they're Tyranids.
True.
Well, some of them do. You can get some overlap, but anyway, this guy's a Keller morph.
Yeah,
Yeah, no. If you double your ad bonus, yeah, then ugh.
I know
Hey,
what
fun-
that is.
fun fact: this is a magic CDH commander.
I know
This
that
card
guy
is
because
Yeah,
he's really good. He's really good.
This card is $70.
Oh, wow, he's good. Weird.
That's a-
Anyway,
that's a
yeah,
character
he's
kind of that
fast.
one.
So, whoosh. He's going to quick draw his guns. He'll be going first. Then anybody not roll initiative? No, I think so. So we got a bunch of 11s, of which Sniperius goes first out of the 11s. 113, 17.
Don't go
Oh,
last.
and I should roll for the Sororitas as well, though I think they
Why do they
are.
don't get in the
You're
line
not
of
supposed to
fire,
mention where they
honestly?
are, so I think they are behind you.
I assume they're all behind us because of how, not how like the height is fine, but it's not the width of the hallway.
Yeah, the hallway's only about 4.5 meters wide. That is 1 to 4. 6, 4, 10. Intermediate. All right, okay. This guy has talents, so bear with me for a second.
He's a whole ass character.
This is an elite. This is one singular elite, so I'm hoping that he can do something before, 5 Space Marines go and blast him, maybe.
I'm gonna fucking charge him. How far away?
Well, you're about 70 meters away right now, because
I can make
Sniperius
that
noticed
in a
him
turn and
pretty
a half.
fast.
Or you could just shoot him, so we don't have to
let's-
fire into melee.
Let's see. So, what does that do?
I need to double check.
Reduce the penalty to 2 weapon. Okay, so he basically has no weapon, no penalty. I think actually, yes, as a full action, he gets to shoot each of these. So, yeah, he is going to, as a single full action, dual shot you, Sniperius.
Okay.
So he fires, 2 of his 3 guns at once as one single full action attack roll. I believe the way it works is that he makes 1 ballistic skill test. Your armor gets to count against each hit, but I believe that your toughness bonus only counts once.
I believe so. I think that sounds about right.
But one dodge roll will dodge both shots effectively.
I hope so.
Okay, so you don't get the benefit for hulking. You're technically at long range for him, but he is... Actually, no, it's not. It's exactly at his range, but he has marksman anyway, so it doesn't matter.
Oh, he has marksman? Then it probably doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Because my camel uncloned, if I'm not actually moving at the moment, my all shots against me are one against. But if he has marksman,
one
it's like...
bigger.
Yeah.
Yeah, marksman completely eliminates the penalty for extreme range.
Yeah, long and extreme.
It's extended,
yes.
but yeah, I don't know how that means.
He's still capped by the fact that his oversized revolvers are his maximum is 4 times 35 meters, which is still not that crazy, but you don't got to worry about too many penalties.
Yeah.
So he is rolling with he's not aiming. He's just got his ballistic skill, and he gets a slight bonus from his special shiny pistols. He gets a +5.
Ooh, shiny pistols.
Anything else we got on this? No.
Actually, well, sorry, I'll ask this question later.
Extended range is just extreme range.
Okay.
Axe, if you can find no further reference, it's typo. Anyway, you gonna wait until he rolls to whatever it was, Lucky?
Yes, I'm gonna wait to see if he actually, hits. Jesus!
9.
Okay.
Yes.
That will be
He
4
hits.
degrees.
I'll type. I'm dumb.
Let me double check here. I don't think I got any extra to dodge yet. But let me see here. So I'll spend my reaction to dodge.
Yeah, I think with just a normal shot, it's just a simple success dodges. Already a pain in the ass.
I don't think degrees are for comparing.
Are you sure?
I think degrees matter. I mean, I'm reading dodge now, but I think degrees matter for. It says to go to the combat chapter. Thanks, Gabe. I think degrees matter for like full autos or semis, but I don't know for a single shot if it does. But I will check the combat chapter.
Well, I got 4 degrees of success.
So it's the same degrees, so you probably are good. Dodge, reaction. Card must be aware. Make a dodge test. If the test succeeds, you get out of the way at the last moment and are considered to have dodged.
Huh.
The dodge degrees, I believe, do matter when dodging an area effect, such as blast, auto fire, etc.
Okay.
Okay, yeah, it's for multiple hits. Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, so your liquid fast Space Marine reflexes kick in at the last minute, and you just out of the way. These 2 shots, fly by you. They fly by Khyr as well, and just dig into the rock creep beside you, digging out very large chunks. By the way, he's flinging some serious firepower downrange. Just
What kind of guns are those?
Well, actually, this is a question I wanted to ask real quick. If we take like trophy weapons or stuff, do we just like to keep those as part of like signature gear, or do we have to like turn those in or something? How does that work?
If you take trophies, you can keep them.
Okay.
Keep in mind, many weapons are not adjusted for Space Marines.
True.
Though you might be able to get your Techmarine to
Okay.
I could probably
fit it for you.
Yeah.
Okay. But sorry. Next person is it?
But yeah, no. And that's just it. So
Didn't we have a 13?
that's it. That's his whole turn. It was a full action dual shot.
It was a brother Lutheron on 13.
Lutheron did get a 13.
Yes,
Yeah.
Lutheron is next.
That's you.
Okay. So, this man has opened fire upon us. I shall return fire upon him.
All right.
Tell the novitiates, cover your ears. It's about to get loud.
So that's if he does that. That's not that one.
The motion predictor gives me plus 20, right?
Plus
My
Oh, technically
10.
he got a 22 because he has paranoia.
Ah. But no, motion detector only works on semi and full auto, and it's only a +10. But that's on top of the bonuses that, such actions give already.
Okay, so +10. So semi or full auto? Not even like.
No, you use the red dice for a single shot.
Yeah.
Oh, right. Yes, good. So I will do a 3-round burst with my the fucking combat weapon, but I'll be using the bolter part.
Using the bolter, yeah. Let's see, I'm pretty sure there is a talent where you can get one additional dodge. Which one's that one called? Step aside?
Yes,
okay, he does have that.
Oh yeah, he does have.
He does have step aside, but
son of a bitch, I want step aside.
Like I said, Sniperius, you're watching this guy. First of all, clear alien freak. He has 3 arms. He's triple wielding revolvers right now. Okay.
This is like obviously the officer of the cult.
He is liquid fast, unnaturally fast.
You're gonna eat his trigger fingers.
So you did hit, I believe, right?
Yes. So with the bonuses, my weapon's ballistic skill will be at 60. So that is 2 degrees of success.
2 hits.
Yes.
Wait, you're on semi-auto?
So
I believe that's only every other. Yeah, no, that's right. That's every other. Yeah.
That's still 2 hits, so he has to make some degrees on his dodge check. Otherwise, he's getting got. All right. Okay.
I would use the hand flamer I have, but
you would literally get everybody in front of you.
Yeah,
he's also 70.
He is also 70 meters away. Like he's slugging down range at you. Okay.
Yeah.
Shit, that's not gonna do it.
Oh, no.
Roll
This
damage.
guy is fast as Sniperius.
I don't think he's as fast.
No,
as
his
Sniperius.
agility is not naturally as high as Sniperius, but he has a very scary. I mean, you've seen him roll it. He's got a +5 on natural agility.
Yeah.
He schmoves, but in terms of raw ability, he is not as dodgeable.
Oh wait, hold on. So
tearing.
Sorry. Should we have double checked where that is hitting?
That would be.
He's got all the same armor value, so no, it's fine.
Okay.
13 is right on.
I'll figure out the 13 in a second if it matters. So, not Loth. Axe is correct, Loth. You should roll another D10 for tearing though, just in case you roll better than an 8.
Okay, but without the +9, because if I hit twice, I was gonna roll the second dice.
Yeah, we'll have the +9 for tearing. Remember, the way tearing works is you roll 2 of the damage dice and pick. It's an 8 both times.
Okay, so 2d8, 2d10
So he
again,
does-
+9, and pick better.
Well, hold on. Let me calculate the damage for the first one. So you do 17. What's the pierce on your bolter? Like 5?
4.
4. Okay. That eats all of his flat coat, though. It's only AP3. So it's just his toughness. It's going to be 9 wounds. Great for him. Well, he's not dead yet.
I up a second
Second
shot.
Yeah.
Yep. As the bolt round slams into his chest. Jesus Christ.
Hey, another 8.
It's another 8. It's another
Number
17.
That's 3 8s in a row, technically.
Yeah, it's a lot of 8s. So he's a lot of wounds. So 2 bolt rounds slam into him and just... Sniperius, you can't see this guy very well from this distance, but you're almost sure, looking down the scope of your weapon at him, that, this guy, he looks pretty cowboy, right? All he needs is a weird hat. But you think you see a flash of something cross this alien freak's face of just like, maybe this wasn't my best idea.
Oh no.
I didn't think there'd be 5 of them.
He was really not expecting the big, huge guy to twitch reflex the way out of his shots. You may realize that, most of the Imperial agents on this planet are not as schmoove as you guys are.
That would have killed most of the entourage of an Inquisitor.
So that was Lutheron at 13. There's a semi-auto, so that's a full round action.
I've somehow...
Sniperius, you are the top of the
DPS.
11s.
I am going to sprint at this man and get behind him to cut off his escape.
Ooh, okay, yeah.
like I said, I will activate sprint. My running is at 9, so thanks to the power of power armor, which means in a full run action, I can move. I wrote this down.
Holy shit.
Where
It's a lot. It's a lot of meters.
It's a lot
Like
of
50
meters.
54 or 60? It's like 9 total or 10 total?
It's 9 total.
54
Yes, I
meters.
can run 108 meters in a single round. I will not run the
with
full
sprint.
108, but I will like to be on his opposite side of him in point blank range, so like within 2 meters of him.
So you haul ass like 75 meters down the hallway. It is exactly like Astartes, just boom, 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 boom. You don't have to adjust your movement at all. This guy instinctively just spider flattens against the wall as you tear by and like turn on your maglock boots against the the floor grating, so you drift, you Akira slide with just your power armor.
Slide and power armor.
Sparks fly up and you rotate and you are indeed at point blank range. You can clearly see the look on this guy's face. His name is a Kellermorph, as just like, what the this guy, by the way, with unnatural agility +5 thinks, what the fuck did I just see?
I thought I was the fastest in my fucking community.
Hello, I am fast as fuck boy.
Yeah.
Hello, fastest fuck boy.
Okay, who...
You
Because that was your full action.
Yes, no.
Who was next in the 11s?
I'll go next.
Khyr, I think?
Yes.
Yeah, you have a better agility than
Oh, I
Cora.
would say,
All right.
I do believe because I have to run past him, we're so close, he could get an attack of opportunity on me. If he takes I think it has to be a melee attack, though.
I think it's be a reaction, though. You gotta use it to dodge.
Did he? Okay.
Well, he could have used his free special reaction to dodge, because he gets a bonus reaction just for dodging. He does have stand aside. But no, he's not gonna... if it has to be a melee attack, there's no way in hell.
Okay. Yeah,
That would mean he tries to slug you, which is not gonna work. He knows better than that.
I think it has to be a weapon attack. I'll double check.
Important for me.
I mean, it'd be funny if he could take like a revolver shot as you whip by, but no, I don't think so.
It would be at a -20 anyway, because I am fucking booking it.
Yeah, no.
Okay.
I'll
study it for later.
I will do the once per session burst of speed, and I will just do a run to get maybe I
Okay.
see chamber him in. So I'll count as 5, so I'll count as 7, so I'll go 42. So basically, I make half the distance.
That's pretty good.
All right.
Just holding my sword.
Boom, 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 boom. This guy whips his head around and realizes, oh shit, there's another one coming. This guy's basically Mexican standoffing himself. He's got like 2 guns pointed down the hallway at Khyr, and his 3rd gun with his other arm pointed, back at Sniperius, just looking back and forth. Well, looks like the Genestealer boys have got themselves in another pickle now.
Maybe it's something the Keller boys.
I believe it's technically my turn now, right?
Yes, it is now your turn, Ayankora.
Okay. Well, you said he's about 70 feet away?
Yeah, about 70 meters, yeah.
Okay, then I will run up my 30 meters
Clank, 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 clank.
as a half action. Or no.
Full action run.
No, run is a full action normally, bud.
No, okay, let me calculate. Nope, still works out. Perfect. Thank goodness for psi rating increases. I will move 16 feet as a half action, I think. Is that I'm doing math right?
Meters, but also, I don't know.
Yeah.
What type of movement are you doing?
Normal movement.
Okay, half move. What's your agility?
35.
So 3 meters normally?
4 meters because of 1 for the armor.
Oh, armor gives you +1. Okay, 4.
Yeah.
That's your half move.
Okay, let me check. Step back. I think I can do this. Not I'm just going to shoot him in the face, but I think I have more range on this now.
Normally you have like 10 times psi.
Okay, yeah, no. Don't have it quite yet. Oh well. I'll just take out my bolt gun and shoot him. I will load a, oh god, what were the rounds that I bought? It was the fire one that aren't, it was the other fire one. It was the second fire one.
I
Those
don't
were like 25.
necessarily know what that
You gotta
means.
give the
Let
actual
me look
name.
at the list.
Now,
I
see,
mean,
don't
I
you
get
actually
it.
write down things?
I did, but I fucking wrote down firearms like an idiot.
Dallas's problem is that he writes things down, but instead of just writing down what they're called, he writes it weird. Hellfire?
Dragonfire?
Yes, Hellfire rounds. No, Hellfire.
No, he wants the other one.
The second, yeah, no.
Yeah.
Is it one of those like
25
require
rounds.
like a tier we don't have? Whatever.
No, the Dragonfire respected. We
Dragonfire's
can't do-
respected. Hellfire's
Wait.
normal.
Yeah, we
Initiated.
can't do Witch or Vengeance.
I don't think
But yeah, I'll load Hellfire rounds into my bolt gun that I
Yep.
requisitioned because, yeah, I wanted it. All right, yeah, I'm just gonna shoot
Would ignore
fire.
natural armor and inflicts Righteous Fury on 9 or 10.
Yep.
All right, roll.
animal range.
Yeah, I'm very much in range. My standard range is 200 meters.
Actually, you're in short then.
Well, no. His normal range is his normal range. It's just what we talked about.
Oh, okay.
I think you got to be within 50 meters to be within short.
That is
Is
an
that a hit?
exact success. Just
Yeah, plus
Okay.
Because the
He's going to use his other reaction to attempt to dodge.
he dodged.
46. That will pass.
Cool.
He's an agility of 51. And his plus 0 dodge because I figured a 50-50 would be good enough.
That's fair.
I mean, he dodged. Like, what, 3? 2? He's dodged 1 out of 3? Right? He's at 33% right now. That's pretty good.
Yeah, so this guy shifts his body slightly as Ayankora whips out his gun, fires one of these Hellfire rounds downrange. I believe the Hellfire rounds are actually the ones that are loaded with anti-Tyranid molecular acid.
Yes, they are.
Yes, they are.
So
They're anti-turret
this
rounds.
does strike the ceiling and just eats probably a
Actually, it's acid for organic matter only.
Oh,
this is
actually, okay, but
originally
only
designed
affects organics.
To combat the Tyranid threat, Hellfire rounds are a devastating effect on organic material. The cores are replaced with vials of mutagenic acid that eats through any living material with horrific speed.
Yeah, so it just kind of forms a sludgy green pool that drops to the floor, but does not actually eat away at anything.
No,
The
but if
bolt
you-
round still leaves a small, several inches wide crater in the ceiling, but
I figured if we were going after Genestealers, get the anti-Tyranid rounds.
all right.
Just
Okay,
slip their
it's the
little-
Sororitas's turn. How does hip shooting work again?
The talent
Yeah.
lets you make up to a full move action and fire a single shot without penalty.
All right, they will do that. They will move 8 meters closer, and they will fire a bolt, as in a crossbow bolt.
Yes, they can only.
They are still at long range because it's only 50, but they get to move full. The sisters shout down the hallway, their voice in unison, temporarily drowning out your bolter fire of just like, Ave Imperator! Death to the heretic! And then, phew, phew.
Oh,
Huh. Shit, they might get the kill. Okay.
They just got him down.
I want to see the Righteous Fury. I really want to see the Righteous Fury.
Okay. So even with the minus 10 for range, we hit.
I thought it was really nice when you go past long range.
Well, their range is 50, so
Oh, okay. Yeah.
yeah, it would be. Actually, no, you're right. They don't have the minus 10
yeah, no, because it's up to
because
twice.
their tops is 100.
Yeah.
They would still hip shoot because that's how they work. You can't single shot anything with this thing anyway. Okay.
Ba, 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 ba.
Oh yeah, they have. Yeah, no, these girlies are trained. They have mighty shot, so this is +2. So 1d10 +5 normally, plus additional 2. Well, it's not a Righteous Fury, but that's going to be 15 total.
Nice.
Pen 2. What area did I hit? 07, so 7D? Is that still the body, or is that one of his legsies?
That is the body directly, because body's 31 to 70.
Okay. I gotta get ready to get some critical charts, I think. Because that's Pen 2. So he gets 1 point of armor, and then his toughness. 8, so that's 15 minus 9, 7?
6.
So 6, thank you. So that means he is going to go into critical 4 rending to the body. So he's probably not dead.
What a body effect, actually. Let's see.
Let me give me a second to get the chart out. So body. Let's see, it's alphabetical, right? So yeah, it'll be rending. Rending, body, 4. A torrent of blood spills from deep cuts, making the ground slick with gore. All characters attempting to move through the pool of blood must succeed on an agility test or fall prone. A target takes 1d5 levels of fatigue. So he might pass the fuck out right now. Actually, no, probably not, because a natural toughness probably counts for that, but we'll see. 2!
Still sucks.
So, yeah, blood, probably in the light of this chamber, too red, almost pinkish red blood, it leaks out of this guy as just, a handful of crossbow bolts sail down range, and each of them, by the way, wrapped in tiny, scrolls covered in prayers. They're sanctified, and just one of them slams into his chest, right over his heart as just blub 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 blub, gouts of blood jet out onto the ground, forming a huge pool in front of him.
Almost more blood in his body.
But they don't kill him outright. So, it is Brant.
So am I gonna have any penalties shooting down the hallway at this thing?
Not explicitly, no. There's enough room that people are spread out that they can take an aside.
Yeah, no, I'm not actually in melee with it, so I think that would be a range.
All right.
Yeah.
I'll full auto him.
Okay. He's gonna die.
I don't think he has a
dodges.
reaction left.
So let's see. That would be.
You gotta make sure you don't pierce through the body too hard to hit Sniperius.
I'll be fine.
Oh no, this is. Well, it is blast 2.
I'm like 2 meters away.
Point blank is 3?
Yeah, it's 2 to 3. No, it's 2, specifically 2. You gotta be within 2
I thought it was
meters, and I'm gonna be on the edge of that shit.
That does technically, I think, mean you are in the blast radius, but
Whatever, it be how it be.
He's within. What's the range even? Curious.
Ooh, excuse me.
And
the storm bolt rounds.
Oh, yep. Within short range.
For the heavy bolter, yeah.
Let's see. 9. Yeah, that's 6 degrees of success.
It's dead. It's just exploded.
Fuck.
I think minimum damage kills him.
Well, let's figure out the crit location. Where's your first hit?
It'd be 93, so it'd be a leg.
Okay, all right.
Left leg, the place of destiny.
Go ahead and, because critical damage is tracked per location, go ahead and roll me your first damage. Because you do reduce damage and pen because it's Metal Storm.
Yep.
But this guy's out of wounds.
So that'd be 20 pierce 3.
All right. Okay, so he still has 8 toughness left. but that eats all of his armor still. So that's 12. That's still 10 plus. This is still X damage.
Yes.
All right. Explosive leg. The leg explodes in an eruption of blood, killing the target immediately and sending tiny fragments of bone, clothing, and armor hurtling off in all directions. Anyone within 2 meters of the target takes 1d10 plus 2 impact damage. In addition, if the target is carrying any ammunition, it explodes, dealing 1d10 plus 5 impact to anyone within 1d10 meters.
This is ironic because this is the exact crit I got on the fucking Met Boy.
It is the fatal. It's the fatal crit. It's a fatal leg.
All right, so first 1d10 meters. 9 big explosions for his ammunition. How far away are you, Khyr?
I'm like, I only move 30, so I'm like 40 something.
Okay. All right, so first of all, we should say this.
Actually, no,
Technically,
I'm like 30,
because it's
30,
Blast 2, I will double check the exact wording of Blast. But I believe Sniperius is... Actually, wait, do you get your reaction back on your turn?
I believe so.
So technically, you can react to dodge the AoE on Brand's attack. Otherwise, you're going to take that 20 Pierce 3, which to your leg, which you're probably fine.
Right, if you will,
But let me check the exact description of Blast. Any within the weapon's blast radius rolls to hit. Oh, wait, you roll individually for the blast. So technically you would re-roll for but he's going to dodge. Okay. So you're fine. You dodge out of the way of that. Let's roll the 1d10 plus 2 for the bone fragments. 5, that's nothing. Let's roll the 1d10 plus 5 for the ammunition. It's 11? 11 with no pierce probably doesn't hurt you, does it?
It'll breach my armor, but won't get past my toughness.
Okay. So, that makes perfect sense. So, you'll discover this later when you search this guy, Sniperius. This guy's carrying some serious shit. So, a little out of character stuff. I might have you roll FL Xenos to see if you know this later. But so the Kellermorph is a third generation Genestealer who is very particular. He emerges from the cult as the fastest and most trigger happy of his hybrid brothers.
Almost cowboy.
But specifically, the Kellermorph is employed by the cult as an assassin, but in a weird way. The Kellermorph is a folk hero who, quick draws and guns down those who would go against the actions of the Patriarch.
He's the lone gunman of the cult.
So, normally these guys are equipped with what is called a Liberator auto stub. It is a oversized, well-designed stub revolver. Favored by certain, outgunner types. But the ammunition it is typically loaded with is they will have factory workers, squirrel away their gnarliest industrial metals to make these slugs out of, which is probably why the ammo going off breaches your armor. As he detonates basically with, depleted flimbotnium rounds or, tungsten core penetrators. There was no RPG stats to model this. Allegedly, on the tabletop, the the Liberator auto stub can punch through light tank armor.
Yeah, it's got high pierce, or it's got a high strength value to ignore armor.
Yeah, so
Crazy.
I wasn't that insane with the stats, but if you want to take one of these as trophies because his guns don't explode, so he drops 3 of these. Here are the stats. He does have customized grips, so other people do take penalties until you take the grips out.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's for a stub pistol, an SP pistol, pretty gnarly.
Yeah, there's 3 of them, right?
Yes.
All right. Sniperius will take up all 3. How much of the body is left? Not
a lot. It was explicitly his leg that went, so one leg is completely gone. His ammo detonated, so his torso and arms are all tore up, but they're vaguely intact. The head was farthest from the damage, so it's probably the least damaged part of him, but is still, got like shrapnel and burns.
Well, we're taking the fucking head anyway. But, also, I am gonna fucking eat this man, so I'll take like some arm.
Eat his head.
I'm not gonna eat his head. That's a trophy.
He's his trigger fingers.
Maybe I'll eat his fingers.
Not taking any trophies, as I did not contribute.
Oh, like I said, well, Sniperius ain't offering you a revolver. Sniperius will offer a revolver to Brand and see if he takes it.
Nah.
All right. Offer a revolver to Lutheron, see if he takes it.
A revolver from this disgusting Xenos?
It is technically an Imperial pattern of revolver. It's just that it has been,
custom.
Yeah.
used for heretical Xenos purposes.
Okay.
You'll take one?
If
Okay.
everyone will take one, pocket it, and then we'll probably try to give it some cleansing rites afterwards.
And then Sniperius will turn to the novitiates and offer them the last two pistols and ask them would they would like to redeem these weapons in the eyes of the Emperor.
Yes, I think when you phrase it that way, they kind of like pause for a second to consult. But the leader, they would technically have a senior sister, a novitiate superior to lead them, their babysitter basically. But she kind of says to the rest of them, and it's like, it is not standard, sisters, but it is, the nature of the Adeptus Sororitas to cleanse the enemies of the Emperor. Perhaps we can consult with our local tech priests to assure that these devices are purified. We can present them to the canoness as a sign of our victory. And the sisters the novitiates kind of nod along.
Sniperius will nod and just say, Oh yes, it was a good shot.
The specific, no one's exactly 100% sure, but the novitiate you think got the condemner stake shot off. Kind of like doesn't look super proud of herself, but looks a little proud of herself and kind of nods.
Smug.
By the way, these are magazine-fed crossbows, so they fucking reload.
Of course they are.
But Sniperius is going to, step away from the group and remove his helmet, and is definitely going to eat some of this fucking Kellermorph.
Going to omophagia him.
You get enemy information sometimes.
And sometimes skills.
All right. By the way, that's so the reason why I had his ammo explode. This guy literally the only thing in his pocket is respirator, spare ammo.
I kind of almost want to eat some of his. No, it's like I don't think there's like enough parts to eat besides I think one person can.
It depends on what you want to munch, but what are the actual?
The tech priest who despises being organic wants to eat organic things. What is this?
Well, depending on how you phrase your machine cults,
I don't despise being organic. I've replaced all my weak parts.
I will
the Mechanicus is like sometimes about the seeking of knowledge. This is why they sometimes get into trouble. So it really depends on the characterization.
He's ambitious, right, so he's about that architect.
Fucking weird. It's a weird word. I'm not sure I'm spelling right.
Do you want to partake of like eating the enemy and maybe like grossing out, our fellow comrades here?
Not here. I'm probably gonna go just clean up all the debris. Because like we broke apart this tunnel.
So over our personal Vox, Brand will mention when Sniperius goes to eating. He does say the brain's the best part.
Kidney, system membrane, lineman's ear, multi-lung. Oh, my feet. It just says you may gain a skill or skill group by devouring a portion of an enemy. In the character sheet, where's our actual rules for that?
I do know it is a thing. It's like, oh, where did I read that?
I'm checking.
It's probably in character creation, I would assume. That's where all the fucking like lists of all your Space Marine gloops is. Space Marine abilities, Homophagia. Here we go. It's a whole paragraph.
Sniperius responds with, I'm not that hungry.
Space Marine can access to a skill or skill group he didn't already access. Skills may gain are the GM's discretion. Any acquired skill or skill group as a untrained basic skill for a number of hours equal to your intelligence bonus.
Enemy protein bars.
What sort of skill would you be looking for?
What kind of skills would this guy have?
Well, funnily enough, he has common lore, Calixus Sector, and War.
Mm-hmm.
But the skill you're probably interested in treating like a basic skill for a couple of hours might be Forbidden Lore Genestealers.
Yes, let's go with that one. Thank you.
So yeah, you can taste this guy and sample his genetic memory to hunt for any ability to recall. So yes, for a number of hours equal to your int bonus. So probably for the rest of the duration of this mission. Yeah. Sorry, realized I was looking at the wrong document. You can temporarily access this as a basic skill.
Woo!
Huzzah!
Have fun.
Also, I believe as a second thing you've got. Is it your neuroglottis? Yes, you always have the tracking skill as a basic skill thanks to your neuroglottis if you've got that. But also, I'm gonna say you get the +10 to tracking test to taste enemies you've tasted.
Cool.
To track them. Because otherwise, when the fuck is that gonna come up? So yeah, Sniperius, you have tasted the blood of the enemy, and the genetic knowledge floods your mind as you get images of, again, the Kellermorph, putting on his cowboy ass boots, his flak boots, and his cloak, and his lovingly crafted pistols. You see him in crowded tunnels with dozens of similarly bald, though differentiate between people who appear to be naturally bald and brood brothers who shave their heads kind of as cult solidarity. But, guys in ramshackle, clearly stolen, mismatched pieces of flak armor with stolen las guns or combat shotguns clustered in tunnels. And you see images of, other cloaked and hooded figures. In particular, you see one figure in cult robes, female with big shoulders, and she's carrying a long staff. But then as you get the memory, she kind of looks up and is just like, the brood will rise. You kind of snap out of it. Ugh.
Weird.
Anyway, you get +1 cohesion for completing a primary objective because I'm going to say after that combat, you've secured Alpha.
Hey.
There appears to have been a lone gunslinger here to attempt to gun you down. And he tried his best, but you guys did dump a lot of rounds on him.
We should probably check there for iconography and anything like a little otherwise. But yeah.
If you want, you guys can roll search or awareness checks.
I'll do awareness.
Or scrutiny, if you've got it, to look around.
I will do awareness.
I still succeed with that, just, with a 1.
Brand will stay on Overwatch.
All right, that's pretty fair.
For me, it's...
You're also, I should say this, Sniperius, you are gonna You're gonna cut off the Kellermorph's head?
Yes.
Okay. The Sororitas will burn the rest of the body.
Yep.
One degree. Because, aspect.
Somehow, some magical way, I will clip it to my belt.
I'll give you a hook.
So this
I have,
isn't
like, a
Legend
bunch
of the Five Rings. You can't take, I forget the name for the head bags, but you can't take head bags with you, but you can get them. All right. I'm doing this in reverse order. I gotta type poly. If. Okay, it's a 2. It's the middle of the road. Twos. So, you guys do find when you pass with your various checks, you do find basically 3 sets of graffiti like further up the tunnel, and you may even some in the flash chamber boiler.
Mm-hmm.
Basically stuff like the Kellermorph comes with a big iron on his hip kind of shit, or just like the
Probably the guy's actual name or something.
what was the I used here about the. Was it the Great Uprising or something? It was like something about like the Undermine or whatever.
Day of Ascension.
Might be it. Day of Upheaval, that's right. They call it a Day of Upheaval. So, like, the upheaval is coming. Our savior comes from the stars. I assume you're just going to have the Sororitas Flamers just hose all those down.
Yeah. Now we're able to stay.
All right, so that was, 2 each? That's 6. Were you at 8?
Yes, I think so. We were 8 at 25, yes.
All right, you are at 14 out of 25. As you are continuing to cleanse heretical sigils, you probably find some of them weird worm. There's basically nothing much more, because you guys are rolling all these checks. There's nothing else amiss in the power plant. The only section you haven't gone in here is you go into the flash chamber, which is basically a giant boiler, which is connected to the steam vents below. The steam that is naturally formed by geothermal heating is collected into a pressure machine that compacts it even further and pumps it up higher into the turbines. The turbines turn to generate the motive force. And then, the steam passes out back into the filtration chamber. With your analysis, Khyr, like you've got your auspex out and you're rolling awareness. Demolition charges could be used to damage the flash chamber, because it is just a giant, artificial boiler. This would result in pressure loss and then eventually power loss. But that would not be a, lasting impact. The tech priest should be able to fix it. There is, a well drilled into the actual reservoir below that comes up into the flash chamber. You guys move to check out the actual turbine room and the power generator. Like I said, there are some tech priests. There's a handful of, pretty normal Skitari guards, minding you. There are sentry turrets, with multi-lasers kind of guarding anything sensitive. Preventing people from accessing the elevators up to the places, with their augmetic senses, the Skitari probably noticed the shooting and probably do send somebody first they send a servo skull to check, and then when they see you guys are down here, they're like, okay, they got it in hand, but they'll inquire and there was a guy inside, and they're like, that's weird. We've been watching the access elevator the whole time, and you guys turn to the camera and go, but then how did the foul Xenos get in? Well, since you succeeded on a scrutiny test to examine environments, yes. So the flash chamber is, like I said, it's a boiler that's attached to a well. It's built into the natural rock under the mountain, right? So there's a big chamber there. You go looking around, and in fact, from Site Alpha, there is a old like tunnel section built in, like hastily covered over with some like simple barricades to seal it. But yes, there appear to be once natural like lava tube tunnels that have been enhanced by machine tools that were dug out when the well was sunk to access this water, and that leads into the old mining tunnels. The tech priests were unaware of their greater presence because they just, they don't. That's not their responsibility. There's nothing technological about them. And so you have an access to go into the mining tunnels. And I think with Dallas on silent, we will call the session there.
Okay.
All right,
And you guys will go into the tunnels next time.
I think we made decent progress.
Yeah.
I think we're like a little over halfway.
Probably a little over half, yeah. I mean, you've cleared 2 primaries and part of your secondaries because you did a transit. You're working on your tertiary
I think we've
markers.
confirmed the presence of a Genestealer clone, as I have a Genestealer head attached to my belt right now.
Yeah, we believe
Yeah.
Kellamore, which is like.
Also, I mean, if
one signature.
you had your pick recorder going when you were fighting, that guy clearly had 3 fucking arms. Like,
I did not.
He had 3 guns.
I would like to say that the pick recorder has been going this entire time. I know I did not actually specifically mention it, but this is the reason
it's
why
fine.
I got it.
It's one of your objectives. I would not fight you about it. You spent the rec to take a picked recorder.
Yes.
So yeah, like, I mean, your footage when you sprint down the hallway is super confusing, but then there's probably at least a solid, like, 2 or 3 seconds of that guy standing there pointing his guns at you, looking gormless before, he gets shot with a crossbow bolt in the chest, and then a metal storm bolt sinks into his femur, and he detonates like a sprinkler fountain, but with blood and bone. It is a secret tunnel. Yes. So, okay. It makes the math a little confusing. If you want, I can give you the credit for the objectives you've cleared now. But you are still in the middle of the mission, so I don't know how it would be expected to get your EXP, like, spending to advance. Or we can wait until you wrap the mission to get your XP.
I'm fine with waiting. I don't mind waiting.
I can wait. I think it only give me.
Yeah, you're still on the track to get all. You're completing your objectives. You're on track to get your full 18.
I just like wandered off from
Honestly,
getting
we're
knowledge
18, 50.
archaeotech, so like.
Okay, let's wait. All right. Yeah, next time we should be able to wrap this mission up and hopefully actually get you do the setup part for the next one, because I'm noticing for specifically these first 2 missions, there is a lot of the intended like expositional stuff and going back and forth and kind of like checking out, important NPCs.
Mm-hmm.
Because you guys did kind of split your focus. We didn't do that all that once in the first episode.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That will be like less in future, so it will be more about actually like tactically planning and supervising. So you can probably more organically like plan for the next mission, and then maybe we'll knock one mission out right away in one session.
Next mission, we just get there's orcs in the corn. Go get them.
Oh, the next mission will be a little more detailed than that, but yes. Yeah, also I will say, so in case you guys couldn't hear me doing it, I will say for the recording before we wrap up, yes, there is a random chart involved. There's a D10 chart. So I'm not sure exactly what encounters are where, but I'm glad we ran into some of the funnier ones, like the Keller morph. Honestly, that did go about as well as I expected. That's why I gave that guy like paranoia and lightning reflexes, so that he could, try and go overwhelmingly first and hopefully bean one of you with his giant ass revolvers.
I'll be blunt with you, Omega. If we were to Starties, I think that would have killed at least like 1 or 2 people.
Oh no, I think if this was a Dark Heresy group, that guy would have started cleaning up. But that's the point. You guys are a Stardy, so I have to balance accordingly.
It would have killed one of us.
I have to balance accordingly for a Stardy, so they have to send the Ranger with the big irons on his hip to take care of you. And even then, he wasn't enough.
I mean, there's a reason that all the Tyranid stuff is mentioned in the Deathwatch books. So
yeah. All right, okay, but that will wrap up our session. Thanks everybody for listening. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Thanks to the boys for playing. Hope you guys had a good time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Next time we will finish the Depths of Faith.
Cool.
Bye bye.
Bye now.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.